Let's cut some fucking grass.
Welcome to the Into the Green podcast. I am your host, BJ Wallace, and I've been lucky enough to be joined by the, fucking Resi Landscape Management and Maintenance Gold Award winner for 2024, Andy from Leaf by Leaf. How are you, dude?
Good, mate. Thank you very much. What an introduction.
What an
I
introduction.
don't think anyone's ever bothered to say it. Yeah, that's us.
Bro, I had to write it down. I wanted to get
It's
it
a mouthful,
right.
yeah. It's a mouthful.
Mate. They should just abbreviate it like Ellie, but
That's my
no, man.
trophy,
Oh,
yeah,
look at
yeah.
it. It's right there too. You got it in shot.
Yeah. It's the only thing I
Awesome,
keep
man.
on the desk.
Yeah, nice.
Collect stuff
Congratulations,
nicely.
dude. That would have been fun.
It was awesome, yeah. So we had like a big gala night sort of thing where so Victorian Landscaping Members puts it on, and there's, the designers have an award, the landscapers have heaps of awards for different price brackets. I think it's 75k, 150k, and then above 250k. I could be wrong. I don't bother to look at their ones. But and then there's like Apprentice of the Year, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But first time we entered and took the bicky, so it was good to get up, and it was a fun night. So had a few beers afterwards, and then just pretty much haven't done anything with it so far. So I was desperate to win, and I was like, I'm going to put heaps into this and make sure we win. And I haven't even updated my website yet, and that was September last year. So pretty slack with it. I'll put it on my Instagram. I'll put a little trophy logo on my Instagram. Yeah.
I saw that, man. It's no, that's awesome, man. I look, that's part of the reason for our expo is I want to get to that level. Like the landscapes associations have it down. So eventually, I'd love to be able to give away little trophies and stuff. I was always a fan of that when I was a kid. Obviously, I got a little thick around the fucking midsection when I got older, so athletics wasn't what I was good at, but. Yeah, man, that's eventually where we want to sit. But enough about awards. Let's talk about you. What do you do? Where are you from? What's happening? Tell me what's the go.
All right. Well, I'm Andy. I'm Leaf by Leaf's my business. We're in Melbourne, predominantly central and northeast Melbourne. We're based out of Bry Hill, that's where our depot is, but we work everywhere from, I don't know if you know Melbourne well, but Brighton to Woodend North to Wonga Park to everywhere essentially, but mainly, the affluent areas, Toorak, Armidale. We got a lot of work. We're pretty lucky. We're probably different to a lot of the sort of big players in Melbourne, whereas we have a lot of semi-acreage stuff. So we've got one job that's 100 acres. We've got a bunch of 10 acres. One that's 25 acres and a few that are sort of 2 to 5 acres. And then we've got the high-end residential stuff as well. So we sort of vary on what we do. Where I grew up in Diamond Creek, it's called the gateway to, it's the gateway to the Green Wedge of Victoria is where it starts to go sort of bushy. So I sort of grew up with trees and space all around me, which sort of led to getting these bigger jobs to start with. And then the more people knew who we are and the more we built up our business, we sort of ended up going Toorak, Armidale. The more we work for designers and landscapers, they want to build in those areas because that's where the money is. So we have a lot of work around there now. But I still like doing they're not even rural. I mean, it's like 20 Ks from the CBD, 25 Ks, but you get 5 acres. So you get a bit of ride-on work, a lot of hedge work. There's a lot more variety, and it's like there's probably like a rustic style garden, and then I call them gallery gardens. So the ones in Toorak, it's like you can't have a leaf out of place. Every time you put in mulch, we use this stuff called shore crop, which is like a compost mushroom blend. So it's like real dark in colour but not dyed. So it shows up imperfections really quick. So it's grouse for the garden, but it's really shit if you're trying to hide a pile of leaves behind a bush. So
that's my style of gardening.
That's why the acreage is good, mate. There's a lot more places to hide things. You can get away with a lot more. But so I guess for us, we're sort of high-end hort more than just lawns. full package, do irrigation, hedges, softscaping, plant installs, yearly maintenance programs, and then mowing and just general gardening as well. So nothing wrong with 8 hours of weeding if it pays right, but it's we don't want to do it too often.
No, those hands and knees,
Yeah.
End up leaving one profession and joining another. Calluses on the
I
knees.
got a big mouth, but not that big.
That sounds awesome, man. Like I honestly, I've swung through your Instagram and I'm a bit jelly. The work that we do, I still love that because it's mainly mowing. But the gardens and stuff that you get to dabble in are incredible. Have you? So did you start off as wanting to pursue a landscaping career and then just fell into maintenance, or a horticultural career?
Yes. So I left school a while ago now, but I left and I studied art. So I'd done a background in visual arts. I got a diploma in visual arts, majoring in photography and a whole bunch of other useless shit that you can never use in life. But that's what I thought I wanted to do. Take photos for Playboy or something fun. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like now it pays off heaps because it's one, we work a lot with like designers and landscape architects, so I can talk the jargon, the lingo. I can keep up with them, but it's all like focal point and textures and colors and things like that really come into play when we're working in some of these gardens. It'd be $1 million landscape, easily $1 million. So it's like it comes with a certain requirement of what you need to be able to talk to the customer about, I guess.
One of my favorite photos, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with this character? On your Instagram was actually a little post that you did about a rejuvenation you did. It's all natives.
Oh yeah.
It's in a tiny little front yard. You've probably done so many you don't remember. But,
was it not that long ago? Like a little
not that long ago.
Maybe?
No, it's in like looks like a little old cottagey style house.
Yeah.
And it's
that's
just
my
a
friend
tiny
Laura's
little
house.
garden.
Yeah.
And it was friends of yours or something.
Yeah, it's my friend Laura. She messages me probably once a week saying how jealous she is of all the other gardens we do, and these people have, they should be ashamed of how do they live with themselves, sort of joking. But I just said to her, I was like, you got the little gem in Northcote, don't worry about that. Like, you don't need a huge garden to have a nice garden.
That's what I'm hoping.
Look, I did my apprenticeship. I did a 4-year apprenticeship in parks and gardens for horticulture, and then when I was at school, I studied landscaping and design as well at night school. So because I knew I sort of wanted to up it a bit. I did join originally thinking I was going to be a landscaper, and my boss put me into a maintenance role. Whether he seen that in me or it was just the luck of the draw that he needed a maintenance person more than he needed a landscaper at the time. But I have a real love for plants, and I think I prefer working with plants these days than I would ever enjoy pouring concrete or laying a slab or putting up a pergola or something like that. Like I have the basic knowledge to do bits of it, but I work with so many amazing landscapers that I just stick to plants. And if I can do that well, then it's like, that's my sort of niche that I can take around, because not many guys actually give a shit about plants. They tend to think, it's a bit soft or whatever, and you'll get so many landscapers that are unreal. They'll do these amazing cuts and joinery work and stonework, and then they're just like throwing plants at the ground, and it's like it's the final touches.
Like a council job.
Yeah, it's just unreal. Like they'll literally put like $750,000 into a pool and a concrete slab and paving and a deck and all this other stuff, and then they just got the worst plant selection. You're like, mate, why would you do that? Like, it's the final piece of the puzzle. So we've now sort of, I've got enough friends in the industry that are doing the hardscaping that we come in and look after the softscaping and the maintenance, and it's sort of, they get the good effect of it 4, 5, 6, 10 years down the track. They can take photos, and we get an annual maintenance program that just keeps us bankrolled.
Yeah, that's it. Some of the landscapes I've seen on, especially after doing, thank you very much for the hookup to Joel as well, Joel Barnett from the Landscaping Podcast. He's a good apple. Did his podcast. I think I'd probably had like 12 coffees that day. And I was just like on fire. I messaged him and apologized. I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. I think I talked the whole time that we were just chatting together. And I was like, used the word together very loosely. I think I was just like fucking, my jaw was sore after it.
It was a good episode, mate. I've already listened to it. So
good.
It was fine. It didn't sound like verbal diarrhea or anything. So if I get that way, just pull me up.
Yeah, no. Some of it, mate. Sometimes verbal diarrhea is probably the best bits. But no. Oh, after having Benny on last week chatting about fucking smegma and stuff, who knows? I might never get a sponsor now. Maybe I'll get
you might get the wrong sponsor.
Yeah, maybe fucking
Vagiclean or something. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Vagisil.
I work for a doctor, and that's your dictionary specialty. So we're about to do his office in Richmond in the next few weeks. So if you want to hook up, I'll see if he's looking to sponsor anyone.
No, I already got hooked up with a doctor up here, Dr. Dick. He's the one who actually gave me the snip.
Oh, the snip. Yeah, we got Dr. Snip down here.
Do you, Dr. Snip? This guy's name is actually Dr. Dick, and Dr. Richard. And I've got a cooler somewhere around here. It's like I got the snip by Dr. Dick, and he just posted like his business. He's someone I want to get on the podcast. His business model is out of control. He does so I think it's like $600 or $700 to get the snip, and then he probably knocks out like 8 of them a day. And it's just him and a nurse who also does the reception work. I'm like,
it's not bad.
That's fuck all overheads, eh? Like his little premise, he hires out a space at a surgery all across Queensland. Not Queensland, all across Brisbane and Redlands. I'm like, fuck, that's not too bad. It's just him. Like, there's no one else on his team, and just running around taping dicks to bellies.
We used to work for a guy, and because we work for some pretty affluent people, and so you find out what they do, and it's pretty interesting to hear how they made their money. And one of the guys, he sold rubber gloves to the hospitals, silicone gloves, medical stuff. It was all disposable, so put them on, finger up the bum, throw them out. Put them on, touch your dick, throw them out. And he was he imported them. And his guy was a multi-millionaire. I was like, why don't the hospital have their own guy? But he was the guy, the Alfred Hospital. And he just whoever wins the contract, I guess, just goes out to tender. Yeah.
Wow.
Now it's probably just a Temu page or something. They're just like,
probably. That stuff really does interest me too. Like, I'm not the most business savvy person. I don't know why I'm fucking doing a podcast with businesses, but most of the reason that I do this podcast is sort of so I can learn and sort of teach people that are in the same mindset as me. Just talking to people who have other businesses and how they go about things. But this is like, man, medical gloves. I guess it all has to come from somewhere. Like, we actually knew someone in our family, or through friends of the family, that owned a medical aid business when Ella needed a bunch of stuff, and they actually hooked us up and gave us the maddest discounts. It was incredible. The prices that they must charge or do markup on once it hits Australia is crazy. But no,
the markup is just insane. We work for heaps. Yeah. Oh, we work for heaps of people that just got weird stuff. Like we work for, I won't say the business, but it's a concrete company, but it's owned by an international business in Germany. It's a Fortune 500 company, and the guy was like number 3 for the world in concrete. So, the client told me this story of when COVID was like, when lockdowns were on, the little kid, the grandson, was doing Skype school or whatever it was, Zoom schooling.
Yeah.
And she overheard him say, "Oh, my granddad owns 2 planes but only 4 cars." I'm like, that's the kind of people we work for. Like, they have their own jets. So
oh my God.
We've got a couple of billionaires on the books now, but it's like, it's interesting and it's cool to hear, and like amazing that these people like in the top 20 richest people in the country, by some, like they're well and truly in that list, but it doesn't change how much they pay us. And it just means they've got a bigger garden with more requirements, really. It just means you got to be on your toes a bit more, really, because they're used to like a certain standard.
I was going to say, like, do they expect more than the, like, you know, the higher their wage? Do you feel like they expect more from you for the same amount of money as like the customer before that doesn't earn $1 billion?
A little bit, yeah, because they're sort of used to like getting the best of the best. So if they think that they've picked you, then they expect a certain standard. Especially like a lot of the people, you'll either come in now and they've like sacked someone, or they've had a guy that's worked for them for 25 years or 30 years and he's retired. Yeah. And now it's like you've got to come in and prove that you're better than this person. Like we've got one, we picked it up like the week or the week after we won the award, and she came over and she seen me at another job. She came to sort of not interview me, but like have a chat. Yeah. And I just didn't really care at the time. Like we were busy and we'd just won the award. So I was not cocky, but I was like, oh, we're the best, like literally we're the best maintenance and management team in Victoria for one garden, not overall, but for one garden. But we're like, we're the best you're going to get. Like, I talked it up. It obviously means jack shit, the award, but it's good to back yourself with it. And she was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, and I was like, yeah, no one does. It's only if you're in the industry, Yeah, anyone that's looked at my Instagram page in the last 6 months knows it is. Pump it.
Look, that's, the awards that, the Landscape Association has and the Arborist Association. I don't know if the Independent Mowing Contractors Association is a thing anymore, or if it was a thing that they used to do. I know that indie contract used to be quite a big thing. I probably should reach out to them for the show and just have a chat. But I'd love to have something like that, and even if it wasn't like as flash as that, give away a participation trophy or two.
It's just like, honestly, that's because you have to do a thank you speech and stuff like that. I think maintenance was the very first award for the night too, so I was still pretty sober by then. But I just pretty much said, like, it's nice to get some like industry credibility. Like, it's nice to be, because everyone sort of has their Facebook page or their Instagram page, and it depends on how much you want to go into catfishing people to think that you're the best of the best. Yeah. But it was like, this is actually being judged by people. One of the judges he's on LMCA, Matt Wanmaker.
Yeah, I speak to Matt.
He was one of my judges. He was one of the judges. So he's on the board of Landscaping Victoria.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's a good lad.
But yeah, that's how I just sort of seen it, as it was good to get some industry cred. Yeah. Because we're a pretty small team. Like, there's only 4 of us, and we like to punch above our weight. But like, there's some serious contenders in Melbourne, like with 30, 40 years of history, and it's so inbred once you get to know like the designers and the who knows who, and everyone knows everyone, and you can't quote a job without knowing someone that's been there and already. Yeah, it's
just a big cuck fest.
Absolutely, dude. It's like once you're in it, you're just like,
everyone else.
Yeah, and then you see the utes around. Like, I got a new ute 3 months ago, and I still haven't got signage on it. And I'm just like telling people it's incognito. I just love being incognito driving around. Because everywhere else you go, like, people just pull up on the side of the road, like, oh, leaf by leaf. Like, I see you guys around, or it's like there's probably, I don't know, thousands of different companies around Melbourne, but there's probably 100 like big players, and then there's the solo guys as well. And it's like, like Remy, everyone knows Remy because he worked at Stonefields. But he's just a solo dude working out in the mountains. Like, he's a grouse dude. We actually have a joint client. Like, I do their suburban house and he does their rural house. And we catch up a little bit, and we've got a few little group chats of just designers and landscapers and maintenance guys that are all sort of, everyone scratches each other's back. Like, once you're in, you're in. So it's a good little industry to be in. Like, I've heard your story with LMCA and stuff. Yep. It's a grouse industry. Everyone wants to sort of look out after each other. No one that I can tell is trying to like cut each other's lunch. Like, we've got there's a few guys that I'm mates with that we all pretty much quote or are thereabouts on the same jobs all the time. Like it'll be, I'll talk about a job and they'll be like, "Oh, this address." And I'm like, "Yeah, you went there." They're like, "Yeah, I already quoted it." So it's just
I get that too up here. There's only, look, everybody's like, there's enough work out there for everyone. And there definitely is. But when you are in such a niche market like yours, and look, mine is not a niche market by any means. Like there's a lot of acreage guys out there that, have a gardening crew and an acreage crew. But yeah, definitely for your type of target work, I'm sure like you're all chatting to each other and all telling stories. Oh, did you hear what she wanted, or did you hear what he expects from us? And
there's a bit of that getting about. A couple of group chats that can't be named, but there's a bit of that. You're like, oh fuck, did you hear what they said, or did she ask you this or whatever? And you're like, and then once you sort of know certain families within, like we're in a client base now where they've got their main house and then they've got their beach house, and they all know each other through whether it's Scotch College or Xavier or St. Kevin's or like all the private school, like the boys club. And they all just look after each other and say, it's great for us. Once you're in, you're in. But you just got to make sure you're at that standard. I
even tell my daughter, a lot of the positive things that's happened to me in business have all been through networking.
Yeah.
And, that it's not what you know, it's who you know, just rings so true because, you don't really know something until you've had a shot at it. And most of the time, the only way you're going to get a shot is if someone who, might take a chance on you. And it's easier for someone that to take a chance on you. And then it just does build from there. Like we've picked up work in one street up here and I've already had three cards. And like there's some, there's probably gardens that you would target in this. I think Mark War's in the street. Like his place is just an absolute stunner. And there's a couple more. And I just got one. And then, next door neighbours swung us a card, and then 3 houses down swung us a card. So, it's not some of them are
don't get me wrong. Like we still do some shit gardens, and I didn't walk out of my apprenticeship and enter into these gardens. Like I used to do jobs in dodgy suburbs that I picked up off Gumtree when that was still a thing. So when I left my apprenticeship, I went overseas to the Chelsea Flower and Garden Show. I was going overseas anyway for like a 12-week piss up or 10 weeks.
Tax
I think it was.
write-off.
Nah, I tried to, and they were just like, you can claim the night of the Chelsea Flower and Garden Show. And like, if you want to figure out a proportion of your flight, you can claim that too. And I was there for like another 10 weeks, and they're like, the portion's going to be very small.
Minimum.
And I was just like, So, and I came back, didn't have a job, and I was just like, because I didn't get along with my boss at the end of my apprenticeship, so we parted ways.
Yeah.
Let's say, amicably. Let's just say that. But we parted ways. Yeah. And then came back and just done any shit cashy I could find. And Gumtree was there before. This is before High Pages, before all that. It was posts on there. I used to go down to the local IGA where they had like notice boards, and you put up a card or be like rose pruning, winter rose pruning, $25, whatever, an hour. And it was like, I used to earn nothing. Like, I still don't earn amazing money, but it was like, you were just taking what you could, and I was pretty young. So if I had enough money to pay my rent and have a slab, that was a grouse week. Like, and I just built it up from there.
You got to do what you got to do to get through. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I've heard you talking about you just hustling, and that's exactly what it was. Like, I didn't care if there was you start mowing the lawn and you find a car in there somewhere because the grass is so long. Like, you just get it done, and that week you've got a little bit of extra money, so you buy a new tool, and then you buy a few other things. And then what you said before about it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's so true, because I've got a few mates where I grew up, Diamond Creek. It's like everybody knows everybody, and it's just this weird honeypot for amazing tradies. Like, there's just so many good guys, and one of the guys that I know, Simo from Land Art, he was just doing some amazing gardens, and they still are. They've won Landscaper of the Year nationwide. Like, they're awesome guys, but they don't have a maintenance team. Like, that's just not their thing. and he chopped out a few jobs to me. Just went, hey, if you make these look good, like they'll keep coming. And that was it. That was like I had already had a few little jobs, but I was like all of a sudden getting these good jobs, and then I could all of a sudden post that on Instagram. And then a mate of mine didn't want to do maintenance anymore, so he told this designer Mira from Mud Office that I could do their maintenance, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, we're really busy now. Like we went from me doing these just shit ass jobs, anything you could do, dog shit in the mouth, the usual, wire around the whip, anything you could find, it was in there. I was doing a medical centre that I had to mulch. It was like 56 metres of mulch. And I found out day 3 in that it was a methadone clinic, and there was just junkies everywhere. I'm like, I'm not charging enough for this. And
did you lose any tools?
No tools, thankfully, because they had a tool shed there because the builder that got me in, again, it was my best mate was the apprentice of the builder, and they needed someone to push barrows, and I was dumb enough to come and do it. And it was just always. Well, yeah, it was just
Jimmy,
it was just always
would have been like, I'll do it for $20, bro.
Yeah, mate, I was only making $20.
I was gonna say,
I was young and dumb. I was like, yeah, but that's more than I'm getting.
Yeah.
But that's all we were doing. We were just taking anything and everything, and then it snowballed. And then my brother got made redundant at one point, and he was helping me lay turf on a job. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh, this is pretty good. Do you want to try and have a crack at it? And his missus was just about to give birth. His son's just turned, I should know this, like nine today. 9 today.
Oh, happy
So
birthday,
it was, happy birthday, Lockie. So it was, so 9 years ago he came in, and it was like I did not have enough work to bring on someone. And he was driving his mother-in-law's Yaris at the time because when he got made redundant, he had to give up his work car.
Oh.
And we were just like, 11 o'clock, better go do a tip run, and then do you want to call it a day? Like, there just wasn't no way there was 80 hours worth of work, but it was me brother, so we just made it work.
Yeah.
And now he's still with me. We've got minimum 200 hours a week that we're like billable hours that we're trying to fulfill essentially. And we've come and gone through a few other staff, but we've got a pretty solid crew now. So there's 4 of us on the tools, and then a 5th guy on a Friday who's a casual floater.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start at the bottom and you work your way up. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't walk into these billionaires' gardens and just go, I'm here. Yeah. You've been waiting. It's just, you do the shit work, you bleed, you sweat, you cry, you go on a Saturday. Like, I remember doing this job as a cashier. I must have still been an apprentice, and it was laying turf, and I had to dig up the old turf, and all I had was a Maddox, and I just had to chip it out, and there was 2 golden retrievers, and they were just jumping all over me, and I must have been 21, 22. It was a Saturday morning. I was the most hungover I've ever been, trying to chip up this lawn. It was like 44 degrees. These 2 dogs kept licking the sweat off me, and at one point I just had to lay down like flat on the lawn, and I was just like, this is so fucked. And it was for like $300. Like, by the time it just looking back, the shit jobs I've done and like the weird situations I've found myself in just for being in someone else's space. But like, now I try and tell the guys, like, when I was an apprentice, I was on $9 an hour, and I think I cleared it was like $290 a week at one point, and I was stoked with that. I had to pay $110 a week rent, then I had to put fuel in my car, and I was famous at work for eating shaped sandwiches. So it was like a dry white roll with a box of shapes, and you just cram as many in as you can to try and get some flavour, and then you just eat the desert because it is the driest thing you've ever eaten. But it was like 65 cents for your lunch. So like you could have 3 of them, and you wouldn't shit for a week, but it was sweet.
Yeah. I mean, that's sweet. Every time you don't take a shit is another half an hour you can fucking invest in work.
Yeah.
Overtime.
And now I'm fucking working, and like, and all the boys are looking at me like, oh, time for a coffee, isn't it? Time for a coffee? I'm
yeah.
Melbourne price is like $37 for fucking 4 coffees and a croissant or something, and you're like, because I've got to work for this. Like,
yeah,
you think I'll just take my yacht there,
boo. we find the same thing now. I love treating the boys now and again. Like, I don't take them to lunch every day, but when I'm with them, I try and take them. But it's not cheap. Like, it's there's fucking 4 of us. It'll cost me $70-$80 just for lunch and then drinks, and then it's a pretty tough work environment up here in Queensland in summer, and we get an hour break and then drinks all the way through. To be honest, I don't really like an hour break, but I feel like, they do better with an hour break. We smash out everything we can before smoko, and we go to smoko like 10:30, have an hour, and then everyone's refreshed for the wind down in the afternoon. It's normally just mowing or something like that. So
what hours do you work? What, from when to when?
7 till 3. So it's a 7 till 3.
Yeah, okay. With an hour break in that?
Yeah, we'll probably chuck an hour in that. But,
okay. Is that because of the humidity and stuff that you need that, or just?
Yeah, look, over winter it's fine. Like, we don't need that, but we're kind of used to it, so it's good for a debrief, especially when I'm there. I'll sit down with the boys and we'll have a discussion about what's happening in the business, what's happening in the background, because I want them to be as involved as possible, so they're kind of invested. We are having some major change up at the moment. Young Will, the gun that's been with me for ages, he's resigned his full-time position, and now he's like winding back. He snapped his leg just over a year ago, and it's just never been the same. He's getting pains and stuff like that, and he just wants to get back to union, so he's taking a step back, and he's only going to do a couple of days a week, which is fine. We also got undercut at one of our biggest villages. I think it was like 130 G's a year or something. So that was one guy full time. But again, it's worked out because one of my guys, when Will broke his leg, actually, his I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but his dad was really sick. So he rang me the same day that Will broke his leg and asked for a full-time job, or if I knew anyone that had a full-time job going. I was like, oh, look, I don't. I'll keep my ears peeled for you, but, And then I was at one of my daughter's dance concerts, and Will's rung me. He's fucking off tap on the green whistle. And he's like, mate, I'm not going to be back to work for a long time. I'm like, what's happened? He's like, oh, I snapped my leg. It was like a cartoon. He's like, picked it up, and it was just flopping like a donkey's dick. I was like, wow. I was like, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. I've got someone I can call. And I called Fred. And fucking straight onto it. But Freddie's going to go back to Ballarat. I think it's Bathurst, sorry. I don't know why. I keep saying fucking Ballarat. Maybe I want to go. But he's going back down to Bathurst at the end of August. So we terminate our contract on the 30th. Yeah. The only thing that's going to be exciting is to find out how much equipment I have, because that place, there's a full-timer there, and there's a part-timer there, and then there's a casual that goes in as well. So it's it's going to have a lot of shit. I know there's 3 pushes.
That's the village.
Yeah. So there's 3 push mowers, a Segway that does the community centre, a little robotic number. There's like 4 hedges, 4 snippers, fucking oil, blades, brakes, shovels. Fuck, I don't know where I'm going to put it all.
It adds up so quick, man. Like, I spoke to you a little while ago. I got this new depot, and it's just like, he's bigger than my garage that I was working out of, and it feels way more professional. And I'm stoked now that I've got like a space that we can have toolbox meetings, and I had like a job interview here for a guy. It just felt way better than come to my house and just avoid the junkie house up there, and don't mind the dog shit here. And it's just like, it feels better. But I thought the joint was huge. I was like, oh, I'll sublease that part out to my mates and I'll do this. I filled it so quick. I was like, how did I hide this much crap at my place? Like, I'm now putting like racking up on the rafters, because it's just like a concrete box essentially backs onto a motorbike mechanics. But it's all the roof is all exposed, so I'm just hanging hooks off, and I've got all my irrigation pipe, and I got cartridges, and I've got 4 different pressure washers and wheelbarrows and everything there. And you're building it up, and you're starting to fill in the gaps. You're like, there is no chance that this was all in my house. Like, how was it in my house? And then I've got 4 utes, and they're all got like, they're loaded up. The guys drive home with like most of it's locked up, which is good. But there's no way. Like, if that comes to the depot, I'm gonna have to move out. Like, I don't know what the goal is. Like, how do you how do we rack up this much shit and then not
So
know
you probably
about
just
it?
I'm looking at your space now. So you're chilling in that's the office space. There's no storage upstairs.
No, so there's like a tiny little Harry Potter above the stairs cupboard where I put like the uniform and stuff where the guys can just come and grab whatever they want.
Yeah.
Then there's like, it's too big up here. Like it's more than I need. So I got a good little decent sized office here where I have my stuff because I've got all my whiteboards and stuff set up. And then there's two little offices behind me, which are just essentially like small bedrooms, but one day I might sublease it out or
Casting
eventually start my OnlyFans in there. It's pretty nondiscreet, but
Yeah.
And then there's like a common area where I've got like a coffee table and a couch and some books and stuff where we have like, eventually that'll be where we have our team meetings and stuff, but I've only been in since the 1st of April, I think it was.
Yep.
And I'm just sort of still getting settled in, still bringing stuff over slowly because we're still on the tools, still working every day.
Yeah,
but it's just so much better having it where I can be like, all right, boys, like go back, grab this, you know where it is, or like the green waste. So we bag up all our green waste and put it in big like bulker bags, like cubic meter bags. That was all just going on my front lawn when we didn't have time to get to the tip. So there'd be some weeks where I have like 10 cubic meters of like essentially compost on my front lawn, just reeking.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to load it up on my ute on a Saturday. So now it stays here. Man, it's so much better having it. It like feels like a house now instead of just like a work site. But it's like it's the cheapest one I could find by far. But it's so much better since I got it. Like we don't have ride-ons or anything. When I talk to you guys about like all your mowers and how many like trailers and stuff you would have to have, that we couldn't. I've got 5 push mowers, but no ride-on. We're pretty lucky. A lot of our big properties have their own ride-ons. So we get to use, we got Toros, Skags, Cox, Husqvarna, Club Cadet, even a little battery Ryobi thing. Like we've got a bunch that we get to use. So it's good for that sense.
Is it a joystick Ryobi?
No, it's not. It's the dual handle, but I look like Donkey Kong out of Mario Kart on it. It's so small. The wheelbase is like, it's like a shopping trolley. And it just, if someone threw a banana at me, I'd be fucked.
Is that something that you want to look at in the future? Like,
yeah, for sure. So we do enough big properties that realistically we should have a ride on. Like it would make more sense, but it'd have to go. The bottom stairs down here is where all my tools are. It looks like whoever had it before me split it into office space as well. So there's like a bigger area where all the tools are, and then it runs down like 2 corridors. So it's not actually big enough for you back in your ute and you can load up and then you drive out, but you can't leave a ute here. So if I could fit a trailer in with a ride on it, it'd be perfect. But then it sort of takes out all the space if you're not using it. So it just can't justify it at the moment, but it's definitely something down the track I'm looking at. Like, but I get a little hard on for a ride on here and there, and I get, I look at the wee bangs and like I look at like Remy and a few of the other guys are doing these like unreal lines and stripes down the lawns with the rear roller, and you're like, fuck, that'd be sick. And then you look at the price tag and you go, probably don't need it that much. And it's why do I need 6 or 7 mowers when I can run 3 and get the same job done? And we've got the big jobs we look after. They've got their ride-ons, and thankfully we can keep it that way. But ideally, sky's the limit, isn't it? Like you look at ride-ons, you look at just every single tool that's ever come out, and you just go, yeah, I could use that. Yeah, I could use that. Yeah. And then you're looking at the price tag, and you're like,
so with your business, would you be aiming to go green? Is that what or are you like me? You have a bit of petrol, bit of battery stuff, bit of everything?
We're mixed. So we pretty much only run battery hedge trimmers, and that's a new addition for us.
Yep.
I've slowly come around to it. Initially, it was give one a go and see how it went. I was like, oh, it's all right. It's not too bad. Like saves on fuel and stuff like that. And then it was like, I would set up a 3rd ute, and the person that was taking it didn't have like a garage or anything. So it was going to be exposed all the time. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get toolboxes that can fit everything on the steel combi tool setup. Yep. So as everything could split down to, yay big and fit in the toolbox. and we ran that, and then Emil at Guerrilla Gardening, he got me onto the Husqvarna hedge trimmers, and they're unreal. Like I can't fault them for how good. Like the lack of noise, the anti-vibration. Like I've got real bad tennis elbow in both arms, and it's so much better.
Yeah.
But we still run petrol steel blowers, petrol steel backpacks. Big whips, all petrol. Like I don't know. Slowly we'll go battery.
Blowers? Do you have like battery hand blowers at all?
I got one, but it's like a Makita that I keep at home, and I had to buy one. Okay. I had to buy it one day because I forgot to load a blower on, and I was like, oh fuck, I need something. It was the only thing I could buy. Already got heaps of Makita drills and stuff, so the batteries went in.
Yeah,
and it's good, but it lasts like 12 minutes max.
Yeah, we love it. Like we have battery blowers on all the rigs. We have battery blowers at all the villages. I've got two here. I've got one for out the front and one for down the back. But like I'm obviously like with what I do, like I'm a bit of a brand slut. So I've got pretty much something from everyone. Like I've got Ego blowers, Bush Ranger blowers, Greenworks blowers, fucking everything. I've got every single blower you can think of almost. Same with hedges. I've got Ego still, Bush Ranger, Husqvarna. I've tried the Makitas. I actually got to hedge Brad Fittler's house, which was pretty cool down in Sydney.
Yeah, sweet.
That was mad. That was thanks to Makita. I've got the Milwaukee stuff as well. I got the whole Milwaukee kit. I work with Bush Ranger and I love their equipment and we use their equipment. That's our daily drivers. But for stuff around my house, I don't mind trying other stuff because it's just, you'll get people that are like, oh, this is the best. Like same with zero turns. Like I haven't just been on a Skag. It wasn't the first thing I jumped on and the only thing I've jumped on. I've tried virtually every single brand out there and, I can still come back to Skag. So that's the same thing with Bush Ranger. I love you're 100% right with the Husqvarna stuff. It is dead set, like one of the nicest hedges on the market. And I think the Bush Ranger 82 volt stuff is right up there as well. I really enjoy using it. It's very kind of like a snub nose sort of style, like the Husqvarna stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I just don't think the support's there for Husqvarna at the moment. I think they've,
well, weirdly, the guy I got my stuff through was a Husqvarna dealer. Is still a Husqvarna dealer, but now it's like this secret thing because he's now a steel dealer as well, and they're not allowed to. Yeah,
that's fucking gnarly, bro.
I'm not saying who it is, but he's got like a secret warehouse around the corner, and you go there and you get all your Husqvarna stuff, and then he sells all the steel stuff at the main store. And it's like, well, I just sort of ended up in steel because it's what I've done my apprenticeship on, and then you get used to it, and it was just petrol 2-stroke. There's not much that beats it. Like it's grouse. It goes hard. It's super cheap not super cheap, but it's pretty cheap to fix. It's pretty easy to fix. You can just thrash them, like leave them in the rain. They're grouse. We like bullhorns on the whips. Like it's what I've done my apprenticeship on, but I've gone the normal straight shaft, D hand or whatever you call it. And I just prefer them. Yeah, I keep looking at them. I really got to do it. Because people always look at me when I do a vertical cut because I've got the bullhorns. It like flips up and I lock it right in under my arm. And people are like, isn't that awkward? I'm like, it's so much more control.
It's because I've got my hand.
Yeah, it is. And everyone that's come to work for me, they're like, oh, I've never used one of these before. And I show them what I do. And then they just go, that's so much better. I can't go back. Like, I don't know. It's just maybe the jobs we're doing because it's like pretty big lawn, so it's like a long. So I don't like walking backwards. I like walking forwards, and it's just I know a lot of the guys walk backwards with their whips, but it's just it's what you know, but it feels so much more comfortable, and they're a longer shaft too. I'm like 6'2", 6'3", so it's anything with a short shaft is like it's just not usable for me. I'm just too hunched.
That's fair.
I already look like a fucking prawn as it is with a hunchback, so I don't need any more.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like that's 100%. Like I don't have a whippersnipper now that doesn't have a whipper gripper on it.
Yeah,
it's just.
I reckon. Do you reckon he'll have them at the expo?
Oh yeah, dude. Everyone's coming to the expo with fucking specials. So with Benny, I think we've been discussing he's going to get. I think he's going to be with Mower merch, so they'll have a bunch of stock there. But obviously, he can't bring everything down from Brisbane, so he'll just have a bunch of stuff there, and he'll be on the Mower merch stand a bit. And yeah, there'll be huge discounts from everyone. So I'm really hoping that people come with their wallets. I know it's after tax time, but we tried to get feedback from the brands, and they said no for a pre. Fuck! Holy shit! You might not pick that up, but a fucking little fruit fly. I just ate a fruit fly. Holy fuck! Oh, you cunt!
I didn't see the fly, but I seen you just about fucking jump out of your skeleton there.
Oh, Jesus. He's damn near fucking died on camera. Fuck. Don't worry about dinner, sweetheart. I'm done. Fucking
it's full of protein there, yeah. Liver King himself.
Oh, praise God, I'm still here. Oh, that was unexpected. I don't even know where. Oh, Benny. So, yeah. I'm hoping that everyone jumps on and, grabs a bunch of specials. But, signed a couple more brands through the week. We went up to Farm Fest, which was awesome. Got some cool news today from Shane from Lawn Culture. I don't know if you follow Shane, and he's from Lawn Culture.
I reckon I might follow him on Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, Valley Outdoors. He's got 2 shops. I think Singleton is one. I'm not too familiar with Sydney, but I won't try and fuck it up. But yeah, man, there's going to be there's going to be a few dealers there as well. Hopefully we can get Danny from Dawn across the line, because I know he's a massive commercial dealer. We want him to bring Toro and a couple of other brands along.
I deal with
Gianna Ferrari.
That's Dawn Mowers.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I deal with them out at Hallam. Not a heap, but so we've got this one job that we do. It's a real nice job, 25 acres. It's probably 9 acres pristine garden. Like it's elite.
Oh, wow.
Like it's nice. I call it Mount Pleasant. If you ever see it on Instagram, I'll call it because it's on Mount Pleasant Road.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I've got a 72-inch Toro there, Groundmaster. And it came with the house. Like the owners are Chinese. They don't speak a lick of English. We giggle at each other talking into Google Translate on their phones. But it's like this mower, it's had its time. It's elite now. Like it's working again, apart from this one buckled wheel that keeps getting punctures. But it's the door mower guys they're so good. Like, but they're the only Toro dealer in Melbourne. Like anything you want. As far as I know, they're the only ones that can get what you need. So this thing's so big, we have to order a tow truck because no one's got a trailer for it. And then it goes out to Hallam, and then you might see it in a few weeks. And it's always just some weird thing that they have to bring from America. But they always get it working again. But it's just, they're good guys there. So Nathan's who I deal with there. He's like the service guy.
Or maybe you can give him a call. Be like,
I'll try. I'll like. Well, I just swung you all that cash. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. So from what I hear, they're the gun. So I was speaking to someone who used to work at Marvel Stadium yesterday, and he said like Danny's service is next level. So he would make the call and say something's up with this machine, and within an hour they'd be there. And obviously that's a phenomenal sort of thing to have on your resume, that you take care of the equipment at Marvel Stadium. And I think a lot of the Brizzy characters that are coming down are trying to find a footy game on that Friday night. There's heaps of crew coming down from Brisbane and from Sydney as well. So I know one. It
was my missus' birthday, Mother's Day weekend, and we hadn't done anything since my kid was born, and I just splashed out and spoiled her spoiled her. It was one night, but we stayed a night in the Ritz-Carlton in the city. Ooh. And it's like level. Yeah, it was expensive. Put it that way. It was expensive.
I went to fucking Singapore and ended up in the Ritz-Carlton with some language barriers and $1,200 a night. Fuck.
Yeah.
Made money.
I think we paid like $1,000 a night, but it was awesome. And it was the first night we'd been away from my kids since he was born, so it was like pretty fun. Went out for dinner, no one crying. It was good. But it's level 80, and you're right above Marvel Stadium. And I was watching, I was getting a little hard on because I could see them bringing out all the grow lamps. So like this,
Oh,
my missus
that's
is
so
watching the
cool.
sunset over the docklands. It's just like, look how pretty it is. I was like, it's unreal, isn't it? Just
Is
looking
that
at her
something you're
wheeling around.
interested in? Like, is
Like
is
turf
turf?
management like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that
like
something that you've been?
I suppose so. Through my apprenticeship, we did like general turf, and then I guess the more, yeah, like everyone, you probably learn as you go more than you ever did being taught by someone, and it's trial and error or whatever. But the more I sort of, yeah, I'm on LMCA or just listen to your podcast or Joel's podcast or Gary and Luke and stuff, like it's the more you hear about it, the more interest you got in it. So it's, I'm not to the point where I want to know how they grow it as far as like genetics and stuff like that. I got no interest there. But
Yeah.
but down here it's like fescue, kikuyu, buffalo, tiff tough, cooch. We've got a few Santa Ana lawns as well. And then you got your rye blends for cool season, and then you got your weeds. So there's a good mix down here. Did they just cancel that? No.
No, we're still good. Oh,
No,
did you
just
get
a
a little reconnecting thing pop up as
reconnecting.
well?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking
Sweet.
internet problem. It's mate, this is 100 times better. Last week with Benny was an absolute fucking schmozzle from start to finish. Not just the episode, the fucking internet around here is so fucked. And I've come down here 3 times today to make sure the internet's still pumping. And right before we did our thing, it was still all gravy, but you just never know. Fucking.
Well, you keep going blurry, but I can't tell if it's you
You've
or
been
me.
blurry from the start. I thought you were
Yeah, right.
fucking gonna go and do your OnlyFans after this, but
Yeah, that's it.
obviously you can't see
I
me.
told you I'm still in
But do you look
incognito
super?
mode.
Do you look crispy and clean in your end?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
same
then
in mine. So
you're fine on. You sort of come and go. So
yeah, well
because
that's
I'm
the good thing with
hotspotting off my
Riverside.
phone as well. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Hopefully it's fine.
Nah, it's all good, man. So Riverside, it's really good. So it'll upload from your end and send me the file, and
Yeah,
mine
sweet.
does the same. So at
Stitches
the
them
end, it all
together.
comes together sweet. I found that out because Tim, the lawnmower man, when we had him on, I keep saying we, but it's just me. But when I had him on, I was fucking having a yarn with him, and his end died, and I couldn't hear him, he couldn't hear me. But when I got the files back, it was literally just us both like talking, just being like, "Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And the fucking the video was crispy as. I was like, "Ah, shit." We could have just kept on pretending like we could lip read. But yeah.
Oh, next time it says reconnecting, I won't say anything. I'll just be like,
Oh,
it's
no,
probably
it's all good,
sweet.
man. Fucking say away. It's no biggie. Like this is like a loosey goosey. But speaking of loosey goosey, have you heard Bobby Big Pickle call in the other 2 episodes that I actually got to do?
I have heard. I think I've heard both now. Yeah, I think I have.
So he called in last week, and I didn't get to play it, obviously, from technical difficulties. But he's had a bit of a love crisis. So I better play it just so I don't forget. But this is Bobby Big Pickle, and we're just getting updates on his love life. So here he is.
Yeah, Bobby Big Pickle calling back in with a update on the romantic occasion. It was a fucking schmozzle driving around town looking for a sizzler. Tim, the lawn mower man, there's no fucking sizzler. How about that? So, the Big Pickle's joining Tinder. I need some help with a description. I've got down body type, double door fridge, interests, beautiful lawns. So any advice would be great, preferably not from Tim the lawn mower man.
Oh, looks like Bobby's found himself an enemy or a frenemy. I don't know. But yeah. Any suggestions for Bobby Big Pickle there, mate?
Fuck. I'm probably not the man to ask. I've been with my missus far too long. But
Me too.
maybe if Tim was recommending Sizzler, hadn't been around for a good 15 years, maybe Bobby Big Pickle needs to go to Pizza Hut or somewhere else that doesn't exist anymore as well.
You know what? We still
Pizza Haven. Get Dougie onto it.
Pizza Haven. My mate used to work there. I reckon that's where all my obesity problems started. Fucking, I used to get $1 pizza vouchers, and I used to fucking hand the voucher over, and he used to hand it back to me with my pizza. I was like, oh fuck. But no, we actually have an all you can eat Pizza Hut up here still in Brown.
Yeah, right. Is it still got the weird roof, the shape of the roof?
Yeah, mate, they're all
stuff?
still built the same.
That's
But yeah, we
sick.
have one up here still.
That's Queensland. Yeah, Queensland's different.
It is different. It's changing though. It used to be an affordable place to live. It is fucking changing real quick. I think we're right.
Yeah.
We're like grabbing right behind Sydney.
Yeah,
for
right. Yeah,
median house
Brisbane's meant to
prices
be
these days.
off its head.
It
I've got
is.
family. Well, my wife's got family up that way, so we went. She's got an uncle in. I know it's meant to be pretty rough, but it's Logan Village or something. It is.
Oh fuck
It's-
yeah, yeah.
But
Logan.
he's got acreage, and it's fucking such a nice property. It's like we went up there a year or two ago. We went up to the Goldie, and then we're up at Mooloolaba. Then we drove down.
Oh, okay,
And then we
yeah.
flew out of Brisbane and stuff. So we're up at Noosa and Mooloolaba, and then we flew down. But then my sister-in-law, she's up bumfuck nowhere well, that's what I've been told. Anyway, she's in Bamboo, which is like
Oh.
above Mossman, like real north.
Yeah, okay.
So she
Maybe that's
moved
where
up.
Bobby Big Pickle's from.
Well, maybe you should go up there. Surely there's a sizzler up there.
Oh mate.
Did you guys have smorgies? Did you have
No.
smorgies there?
Nah.
Oh,
You
so
guys have
smorgies was
something
like
that. Oh. You
that was
go
like
for it.
Sizzler's competition, but it was
Really?
like Smorgies was like the good one, you know what I mean? It was like Target and Big W. It was like it was Channel 9 and Channel 7, and Smorgies was the one for my family. But it's like the shittest food when you look back. You go up and it's all you can eat, and you got like a piece of steak, 3 calamari, 2 cinnamon cinnamon donuts, and like then you're looking at the soft serve going, I could probably get that on this plate. It's just
yeah.
like you've never once had a decent meal at those joints because you're just trying to eat the most rancid shit, and that's all you're going to do later is just have a rancid shit.
A buffet.
Probably not good dating advice.
No, fuck no. To be honest, I would just get it to your place, Bobby. Spend up big and get some Uber Eats. I can cop all those surcharges. Maybe a bit of Baskin and Robbins for dessert. Fucking.
Mate, where is
the most
Bobby?
intimate place you're gonna get.
Did he say where he is? What part of the world?
No, he didn't. Bobby, where you from, mate? Let us know. Let us know exact locations so we can. We can really
because it's either raining too much or hasn't been raining at all. So you can either go to the beach or go for a swim in the paddock. So one or the other.
Exactly right. How are you guys doing? Like, I know that you guys had a bit of a rough start to summer, but I know your like the beautiful gardens and stuff would be irrigated. But when you're talking about 25 acres, is that sort of stuff? Are they running irrigation all the way through?
Yeah, some of them are. So a lot of them run off dams and desal plants. So it's like a whole new part of like you don't learn that in your apprenticeship, but you just sort of learn it when you take on these jobs. So like desal plants and bore water and dams, and so some of the jobs have got like over 100 stations on irrigation. We got one 10-acre joint. It's a Paul Bangay garden in Wonga Park, and it's it runs off these two huge dams that he's dug out, and they're something like 15 meters deep. They are massive. They're huge, but they're empty. Like maybe after this weekend, because it's been raining pretty steady for 2 days now.
Yeah,
he'll have a fair bit of water in it because the property. He catches a lot of the water.
Oh, that's
he does real good for his house. It looks like an airport. It's so big.
Really?
Like it's ridiculous. It's too big. Like it's just too big. But those joints they're struggling. Like he put a tennis court in, and we put over 2,000 plants in around it. And he had a crack at me because we didn't get it done on the week he wanted. And I was just like, mate, you've literally got no water. Like I don't know. Why do you want these plants if they're just going to die here? And he's like, oh, no, I'll water it off mains for a few weeks. But I'm like, you're not going to stand there for 4 hours with a hose. You know what I mean? Like the irrigation, unless he runs the hose into the tanks, fills the tanks, you know what I mean? Like it just, it's not worth it. But most are residential jobs and sort of house, usual size properties. They're all irrigated and sweet. Yeah. But then you'll find like, where we get to the acreage, they'll still have irrigation, but everywhere outside of the irrigation, the paddocks, the nature strips, the surrounding suburb is just nothing. Like rouge. Like my mum told me the other day, they've had kangaroos going down her street because she's got like a little, it's it's not even a paddock, it's just a hill. And they've had roos down there because she's sort of on the outskirts of Diamond Creek where it gets to rural, and she's there. The roos are coming down. They're just searching for grass. Like it's dry. Like it's been raining today and yesterday for a good, I don't know, we've probably only had 10 mil or something, but it's been steady like drizzle, which has been awesome because we haven't had that since probably last year, to be honest. Yeah. But it's now at the point where like it's so cold anyway. So we just 2-3 weeks ago it changed. Like we had frosty mornings and stuff. So all the grass is turned off. It's stopped. So there's no grass growing. We'll be doing all our rose pruning and stuff soon. But like there's just the paddocks and the bigger lawns and stuff that are based off dam water or tank water. It's really, they're struggling. Like it was a rough. I reckon summer started in September last year and it finished 3 weeks ago. Like there was no autumn. It just went like this super mild summer. We had like 4 days, maybe over 40. And the rest of the time it was like from September to April, it was like high 20s to 38 and then like back down. But it never got cool nights, no overnight dew, nothing. It was just this, it's not like super risky yet as far as droughts because we had heaps of water from the year before. Yeah. But it's like we're now at the point where like thank fuck it's raining this weekend because like it's like some of the guys out like sort of northwest and stuff like that, they must be really struggling. Really struggling. It's just dust, man.
I know. Dust. I saw Jared from the admin for LMCA just posted yesterday that he's flooding at his house, which is his paddocks are flooding. So that's good news. But I think he's quite metro. So I saw someone else, I think it was Lindsay from one of the Doldries, Lindsay and Luke out there. Fucking love that couple. I can't wait to have them on there. Absolute laugh. You'll love them, man. Are you going to come to the networking night?
No, I haven't got tickets yet, but are they still on sale?
Fuck yeah, they are. Yeah, there's a couple left there.
I should come. It's the Hyatt, like right on the side of the freeway.
Yeah, bro. It's literally 5
I drive past it all the time.
Yeah, you could stumble past like straight down the road because there'll be.
I've had to stop in that BP for a piss so many times.
It's actually a beautiful hotel. That's where Lou and I stayed when we came down to. So when we with Caribbean Gardens, we just we got a good rapport happening with them now. So.
Yeah, it's a great space. Like it makes total sense. And there's so many guys in Melbourne that are in the industry that live out east that way. Like it's a big, whenever you talk to anyone, even that works in like metropolitan, like Toorak, Armidale, the affluent areas, everyone drives back out. Like no one that does our job can afford to live in those areas. So you all drive back out. So I'm one of the rarer ones. It's like northeast opposed to east. Like there's not, as far as I know, there isn't too many of us out this way. It's not that far, but it's like heaps of guys I talk to are out that way, like towards the Dandenongs.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping. Like, I'm hoping the contractors in these areas get a hold of some of our marketing and push it to their contract. Like, I hope there's other groups. Like, we have LMCA. Like, it's a massive thing. And we have, like, we have the best network, like Lenny from the Fanatics and the whole crew, like Glenny and that. Like they're 100% behind us as well. We worked with the Fanatics last year, and their page is like 115,000 strong. But there's a lot of homeowners in there. I got to pick the contractor nuggets out of that. But the hardest thing is to market to it's a pretty broad stroke of the brush. Like realistically, there's contractors everywhere, and it's so hard to get the guys because they're not everyone's on social media. My sister-in-law is she's quite high up in the Australian radio network, and I'm like, should I look at doing an ad? Like, is that something that might hit?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. Like, we don't really. But I'm like, fuck. Like, because I've got all good contacts to all the gyms guys. Leo from Fox is awesome. I'm really hoping that we can just absolutely load this, show all these brands. Because I don't know, I haven't sent you. We've got a little group thread. I haven't sent you the new list. We put about 5 or 6 more on since you would have seen it last. But
the brands.
Yeah, there's a fuckload of brands, eh?
It's every time I see that picture, I'm like, fucking hell! It's
Yeah,
like
dude.
it's getting more and more condensed, and you're like, you got to zoom in now on your phone. You're like, oh, they're coming sick.
I know, dude, and I will release it soon. It's just every week. Well, you know what? Last week it was like 3 days out of 5 we got new. So like Lou's just updating it over and over and over again. I want to be like, fuck, I'm going to release it. I'll probably release it mid next week. Probably around the same time as a podcast, and I'll do that. And it's
grouse,
blowing up, man. Like there's so many cool
from my end,
people too.
From my end, like it's grouse because we're not lawn mowing guys. We're horticulturalists, and we're doing full garden maintenance, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
With more maintenance, but that's like a sort of grey area within it too, because we sort of fall into working with the landscapers and the architects, but we're still just using mowers and pushing mowers and mowing lawns, and like we're just doing it with extra other stuff. We're just adding other stuff in, like we're doing it all inclusive. So your expo's grouse for us, because I think I spoke to you the other day. We went to the Landscaping Victoria landscaping show, which is great, and you get your brochures and you see a few brands that you might not see. But it's not like, it's more based at like, oh, this is how you're going to put in, I don't know, permeable fucking paving that will change the way that you can pave a driveway and get on a commercial site or whatever it is. Whereas like maintenance, that's why with our award, like I think that's why we were first on the list, because they just get it out of the way. Like maintenance is this weird sort of dirty word that just like, we always laugh, like on Instagram, the designer will post and then it'll be the architect and then it'll be the landscaper and then it'll be the interior designer and then it'll be like fucking Jesus himself. And then you're just like, you have to tag yourself and be like, garden maintained by Leaf for the last 7 years. And it's just like, yeah, no dramas. Don't forget us. Like, no one seems to care about it. So it's such a good space that you guys are making, that you can go in, be yourself, check out the tools, like, realistically see what you are making money at, like you as a company are making your money out of. Like, so we can go, shit, we should buy one of those electric ride-ons because we can get that onto the back of a ute, or we can get that in a small depot, or we should be buying more battery-powered stuff because health and safety down the track, or whatever it is. Like, it's just a nice place to look at it and talk to people. And like, I met a bunch of guys there last year, year before? Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, and they're like, I've been talking to them on Instagram for about 4 years, but we've never met face to face. And then we all just had our work jumper on. They're like, oh fuck, it's Andy from Leaf by Leaf, or like Shane from Celsius Lawns. Like, I've been talking to him for like 4 years, and all of a sudden we're just having like a 3-hour chinwag. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, shit, like one of your best mates, but you've never ever met them, and now it's like a perfect place for it to happen because you don't feel like a fuckwit being like, oh, do you like cutting grass? Yeah, me too.
Bro, that makes me so excited. That's exactly what I'm aiming for. Like, for the contractors, by the contractors. Like, feedback is one of the most important things that we got from last year, and we've really like pushed hard. Like, one of the feedback things we got were people were saying, oh, there was not enough hand tools, and fuck me, like we have hustled so hard to get hand tools. We're lucky. Like,
who wants to come and test drive a rake? What are they doing?
Look, I think because of the show day special thing, I think that's where people are like, oh, it's a one-stop shop. But
yeah,
realistically, we reached out to every brand that Bunnings stocks, and honestly, like they were just like, nah, like it's so look, I know for me with a few staff, like I know you're probably completely different because you're very high end when it comes to gardening and stuff. We do, like, with their big stuff, we do yearly cleanups, and like we're rocking chainsaws and stuff. Top of the line chainsaws, like we have Bush Ranger battery saws, we have steel saws, and like Bush Ranger all the good stuff. But then when it comes to like Velco's coming this year, which is awesome. We got Fiskars. Euro Tools is one of the most. I'm fucking excited because I don't know if you've seen the DeWitt line of tools. Right,
No,
you're a big dude. You'll fucking love it. You feel like a Viking. It's honestly, it looks like it was forged in someone's fucking blacksmithing shop and just bashed out. And this stuff is hardcore, like heavy duty, beautiful in the hand too. Like I got some through Will at Mower Merch, And I was just like, get fucked, boys. These are mine. And you know what? The fucking one time the boys took it, lost my my little handmatic. I was like, oh, you fucking. Yeah. So, look, things like that are important to me. But when it's, like, I just know how much the boys lose seckies. They lose, like, loppers and shit like that. Like, I don't mind sort of mid-range. Like, we'll get some Fiskars or stuff like that. Yeah. They come with that lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't mind that. They don't cover lost tools, so
we use for secateurs and stuff. We use Falcos mainly. Like, I'd started on Barcos when I was an apprentice because it's all I could afford, and then I got myself a pair of Falcos, and it was like the best thing ever. And now I'm pretty wanky. I'm on all these like Japanese tools, but they're sick. Like, they're unreal. Like, you can't beat them. But I don't give them to the guys. Like, if they touch my stuff, like, I've got this like. It looks like a handbag. I'm not going to lie. It's a Nawaki tool bag, but it's inside my toolbox. Yeah. I've got all my shears in there and stuff. And they look like samurai swords. Like, they're grouse, but they're really soft. And so, like, we've got the other ones, like Barco stuff, like commercial stuff that you just smash through anything you can get through, like, you know, a hedge reduction, or you might hit some chicken wire or something. Yeah. But then my Japanese stuff, it's like, if they fuck that, I'm going to be pissed off, because you just can't, like, you know, the like Falcos or the Barco or like even the Fiskars, you're like, if you sort of buckle the blade, you can sort of sharpen it back and bend it back. This stuff you can't. It's just a chunk out of it.
So it's just like, super
where did it go?
Precision hardware. Like, I've never even played with any of those Japanese Sekis.
Yeah, they're just nice, man. I've probably got 5 or 6 pairs. There was a bit there where I was like, just sort of buying. I was like, you're doing all right, treat yourself. You're doing all right, treat yourself. You only got one set of hands. And then you're like, all of a sudden you break a spring, and then you've got a set that can't work, or they're not custom made, but they're made with, it's like walnut wood, like embedded into the handle, and it's all like polished down. They're grouse, and they just sit on my desk at home, and I never use them. And I was just like, I dropped a packet on that. And I'm like, why did I bother? Like, the Falco 2s are grouse. Just get in there, smash anything you want. They got a little bit on the bottom of the blade to cut wire. Like, just when you got stuff, you just got to go to heavy duty stuff. Yeah. It's like, fine if you want to film yourself on Instagram and you're setting up a camera and there's like 4 different angles of you shaping the one ball, and you're like, this is going to get some hits. Yeah. And then you look at how much you got to charge for how much time you wasted filming yourself, and you're like, fuck, I can't even afford those shears from this.
I love the fact that there's so many good people out there that do really good content and have the time and they make money from it and all that. I just can't do it anymore. Like, the properties that I have are so big, and that sounds dumb because I do a lot of content for, like, obviously I'm doing a fucking podcast right now, so to break it up, I could probably do a few pics for my Instagram, but because I'm doing the same stuff over and over again. Like, we've picked up a few nice ones. We've got a few big properties that we'll definitely be doing some filming at and stuff, but it is hard, man. And time is money, and sometimes it's just not feasible to set up a tripod. And
like I said to you, I did like a photography background, and I love taking photos, and I can find a nice angle, and I'll get like, the shadow coming in. I know what time of the day that it's going to look good, but I'm just doing it on my phone. And then I look at these guys that are filming themselves with stop motion for 12 hours on a job or whatever, back and forth. I'm like, fuck, that shit's on my content, but like, I just don't care. Like, we don't need the work. Yeah. And then, Tim the Mower Man and Lawns a good Nick, and, Nathan, you're like, the guys, LMCA don't really rate him anymore, but I don't even follow these guys. Like, it's only through LMCA that I know these guys, because they're entertainment. You know what I mean? They're essentially actors Tim's a bit better because he does like the tool reviews and stuff. Yeah. But like, what we're doing is we're working, and then it's like, fuck, I forgot to take a before photo. I'll take an after photo. And then you're like, or you take 10 before photos, and then you go back a week later and it's leaflet or shit everywhere. Like, fuck it, I don't need the work at the moment anyway. It's just like, and I'm like, pump my guys. I'm like, if it looks good, take photos, send me for content. Yeah. And no one ever does. And you're just like, I used to be so onto Instagram, but now I'm just like, I don't know. It's just the big players that I see, like the big designers, the big landscapers, sure, they get professional photos in and their photos look good, but none of them are filming themselves doing it for 8 hours a
No.
day or whatever. Like just a different. It's like if you want to be doing this or you want to be doing this, and I'm sort of neither. I don't want to be on the camera. I want to be behind the camera, but I
Yeah.
also just like being on the tools. So Instagram's just like the evil that comes along with the job now, I think.
I think you're 100% right. Like I do love it, and when I have something that's like really, like I when they do the rye at the footy clubs and the soccer, fuck man, like
Yeah,
I'm just like, get out of my way. It's time to fucking really drop some stripes, and
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be a cheeky dog and I'll lift it a little bit higher. It's winter, so I'll pump it up a notch and I'll just get some sick stripes out.
yeah,
But yeah, look, I totally agree, man. Sometimes it's that fucking when you walk away and you're like, oh, I should take a photo, and then you're like, oh, I should have taken a before photo.
yeah. That's it. That's the problem. Like you got so many photos of like this beautiful finished lawn or this beautiful hedge or this beautiful garden, and you're like, well, that's grass, but no one gives a shit if they don't see what it was before. So you're like,
Yeah,
and you think about what you scroll on, you look at it and you're just like, yeah, 2 seconds, keep scrolling, or now it's just stories or whatever, or if a reel gets you. But it's like that's why the guys that are filming themselves doing like stop motion or time lapse or whatever, and then it's like, this is your before and after, or this was us a week into the job or whatever. Like they're killing it because that's entertaining. What
yeah.
I'm doing is just putting pretty photos of gardens up. I'm like, hey, buy a book if you want to see what I'm posting.
Yeah. And look, people from behind, like, behind the screen, watching all the content, probably don't appreciate how hard it is to actually get it and process it
Yeah.
and put it together. Like it's,
Oh, absolutely. Like I
yeah,
couldn't do it. I've filmed myself a few times back in the day when I was like, all right, guys, going to walk you through our garden and we'll do this. I'm like, cringe. Just, nah, delete. No chance. I've
one
got
of
like
your good
two.
posts is what we did this week. And you've got like snippets from each garden, little like three
Oh,
second
yeah.
clips all snapped together. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff hits so hard. It's funny though, you see people like I do it for Lawn and Land Equip Expo because I don't actually have bulk content for that yet. We're actually looking to potentially get a drone operator or something to come
Yeah,
and do
sick.
some cool filming this time because we had one in Brisbane and like obviously the show is more condensed now and it's way bigger. So we're going to probably invest in someone to come along with a drone and like I can snap pictures, but realistically, I'm talking. The whole day is just me talking to people,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm lucky enough. Like my family's coming along this time, so I mean, my wife and my sister-in-law, but she's bringing her partner. He's going to help out. My daughter's coming. She's going to be taking photos, and she's like, "Oh, do you want me to talk to people?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't have to if you don't want to." But she's pretty cool. She's like me. She doesn't
Yeah.
mind having a chat. But
But
yeah,
it's
like
different for you. Like if you got drone footage and like a little 30-second video or whatever, like say some media company or like, I don't know, someone that wants it for a studio art project or something, put it together. That's you for next year. You
mm,
sell that to that. Then you go to the brands that said, didn't want to come on. You go, this is what you missed out on. How good's this? You could have been a part of this. Look at that. There's, 5,000 guys there or whatever it is.
yeah,
And you
someone
just go,
someone legitimately gave me the best line this week. KP, she is actually going to work for Milwaukee. She'll be there on the day. She said, no, everyone will remember the people that aren't there. So
yeah,
that's so true. That's why I'm like so like these brands. I'm like just come in some sort of capacity, send
yeah,
someone. And look, I know times are hard. I know there's a lot of big companies that have dropped a lot of staff, and really, it's sad. Like I'm talking to a lot of reps that are fucking like they are so invested in the brand, they love the brand, but when the word comes through from say fucking the US to cut jobs, like it's just so hard for them because they know the potential of their brand. They rep it hard, they love it, they're invested, and then they're like, I got too much on now. Like I got
yeah.
yeah, it's sad. Yeah, I got to talk to a lot of people at Farm Fest this year. My wife and I. That place. Like if like ag shows are completely different to what we're trying to do, but they are such a fun spot. Like we enjoyed ourselves so much. Like going to the ag quip, going to Farm Fest. I'm sure ag quip and Henty and stuff are quite similar. Yeah, you talk to everyone. The characters there are awesome. We spoke to a few companies like Solo and Sylvan and a few others. And they're all awesome. Like they all just don't mind having a chat, especially when you're enthusiastic about the industry. But yeah, hopefully we can just get that credibility, that last little shred of credibility we need for people to come to us instead of us having a fucking me spending 4 or 5 hours on the phone any day. Like I've got spare. I'll just sit there dude, these people must fucking hate me. I swear to God, there's a couple of brands that have put me on a do not call list. Unfortunately.
Can I stop real quick? I just got to run to the toilet. Sorry. When I first bought my company name, like Leaf by Leaf, I was like, yep, sweet. Took me ages to pick it. And then as soon as I walked out, I kid you not, like the moment I walked out of the room, I walked out, there was an ad on TV, and I was like, yeah, Leaf by Leaf, I'll just, put on the branding, whatever, LBL, that'll be fine. Walk out, TV ad, light bladder leakage. Fuck. I just like, so I've never abbreviated it to LBL. It's just,
oh, jeez. I was actually going to say we'll give it 3 seconds and we'll kick off, but don't even fucking worry about that. That's awesome. Keep that in.
Yeah, keep that in. Yeah, that's me. Light bladder leakage. Man,
mate.
I started I was just sitting there going, oh, it's going to come out my eyeballs. Sorry about that.
Nah, that's all right, mate. Everyone fucking, I was sitting here listening. I was like, how close is your toilet?
It's downstairs. That was the problem. I knew I had to.
Oh, is it? Oh, upstairs plumbing. No, that's pretty cool, man. I always wanted a commercial space, but like I just can't. I don't know where the fuck I'd have the time to actually go to a commercial space.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Like we were talking earlier about like, do you feel like you can disconnect from work when you go home now a bit better instead of having to jump over 10 cubes?
That definitely helps, and I'm no longer reversing in the garage with the tripod ladder still on the ute and smashing it into the fucking roof. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a ladder on there. Fuck. It's like it's still
trying to fucking get out.
It's still like, as I said, I've only been in since April, so it's like still a transition period, but it's for sure it just feels more professional. Like for so long, I was like trying to sell myself as doing these elite gardens or whatever, but then I'm like, oh, you come to a job interview in my kitchen, that's my dog, she's going to jump on you, that's my missus. And by no means is that shit, because it's like, I want people that will know my family and know my dog and know who I am and where we've come from. But now it's like, come in, sit in the office, we actually talk, I can concentrate on what's happening because I get distracted way too easy. And I think that's been the best part of like, it does look like a bit of an asylum in here because it's just blank walls, but it's like there's no distractions. When I'm here, I chuck on like a hotspot my laptop because I don't even have internet here yet, and I just do all my emails. Got 4 whiteboards next to me with all my to-do lists and my notes, and I've got a calendar there, and I've got notepads everywhere with just different notes, and I've got design books and stuff so I can look through plants and stuff, and it's all here, and like the tools are here. And there's no excuses for the guys why they can't go pick up something. Whereas before it was like, oh, I've got to make sure I leave the buzzer for the garage out and put it in the meter box to make sure that Luke or Charlie comes and picks it up and doesn't wake up my wife because it's 7 a.m. or whatever. And she's got her day off with the kids, so they're trying to sleep in. And it's like, it was like the natural progression for my business. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, like I'm still wondering where the money's going to come from. Like it's like, I've got it, but like if we have a rainy week or, it feels like there's a public holiday every 6 minutes at the moment.
Oh,
it's
dude.
Like, it's just like, yeah, okay, I probably can afford this, but like we've got to make sure I'm getting invoices paid, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And that's the legit struggle with a weather dependent, like situational dependent, staff dependent fucking industry. Like that's a real worry. It really is, because income protection only gets you so far.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we work for some pretty affluent people, and they're good at keeping their money. You know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah,
to you might be working over here, but they're invoicing you for you have to invoice for their company at some other random job, or it's a builder that gives you some job site that you've never been at, you've never heard of. But they're
yeah,
like, yeah, just put that down, or just put general maintenance, and then whatever, so they can claim on tax and whatever. I don't care as long as they pay their bills.
yeah,
But like, it's just it's so your service industry is built so much on trust, and it's like you go give all this hours, all this labor, all this petrol, whatever it is, and then you're like, please pay your bill. Like I need to pay my bills.
yeah. It's one of those things, like well, not your, maybe your lifestyle is in the hands of the people you work
Yeah,
for. And
for
that's
sure.
why,
Yeah,
like, you treat, sometimes, like, you get into a bit of a thing where, like, I treat a lot of our customers, even though we do massive properties, like, I treat them like family. Like, one
yeah,
of our customers has 35 acres, and they're the most beautiful family. And it's super sad. Like, the husband's a doctor, and he just found out that he had, like, he's going through all the surgeries and stuff, and now he's just fighting cancer from two fronts. He had stage 3
brutal.
lung and stage 3 pancreatic cancer, and they are just the most lovely people. Like, I was going to reach out to Tim and see if he wanted to come up to Queensland. I'd fly him up, and we could do like because they have 35 acres, and a bunch of it is just unusable lantana and stuff, and maybe we
Yeah,
could get a few partners in, obviously like Skag, McConnell, Seppi, and just do a massive cleanup and just get some of the cool cats of the industry to come up and help. Um,
yeah,
but then they're the sort of people that'd be like, no, I don't want that. But like, I wouldn't do it for
yeah,
content or anything like that. I just do it
yeah,
because
yeah,
I want to do it. But if you want people like Tim to jump in and help, it's always a good thing for them. And
yeah.
yeah, like, I'd love to be able
It's
to
one of those.
one day be in a position to do that sort of thing.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Like we are in the position where it's like a service that people. It's not an emergency service. It's not plumbing. It's not electricity. But we always say it's a privileged trade. Like
Yeah,
if you're privileged enough to be able to afford it, then it's good because you're not going to travel the world mowing lawns. Whereas a plumber or a sparky can pretty much go anywhere. But
yeah,
like it helps people so much sometimes, and like you
yep,
just sometimes forget that, and it can make their life so much better and more comfortable. Like we've got a few people that we've done their parents' house, or we've had, I've been since 2013. Since 2009, I got in the industry. 2013, I've been on my own, and we've had clients come and go, like dying and stuff like that, and it's horrible. But you just do as much as you can to take like any sort of pressure off them, whatever. Like
yeah,
I've had a client turn 96 and I rocked up with flowers for her and stuff like that. And then she's just like, why are you getting me flowers? I'm like, because I've never had a 96-year-old client before. Like,
yeah,
you just do what you got to do. It's like, it's nice. My dad said it, my granddad said it, and I'm dumb enough to have it tattooed across my feet. But it's nice to be nice. It's like,
yeah,
if you don't need something, I don't want the content, I don't want to do it. But it's just like, if you can make someone's day a little bit better, then it's nice to be nice because you get,
dude.
you might feel better. So
Yeah, my
you feel good
mantra
at night.
is common courtesy costs nothing. I think everyone deserves to
Yeah.
smile. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's manners are for free and common courtesy costs nothing. That's pretty
yeah.
good.
Where was I? I was at Farm Fest, and I saw Strongy from International Mowers. He's the robot and Seppi guru. Like, he's the man, and he's just such a fucking nice guy. And he said to me, he goes, "You've always got a smile on your face." I was like, why wouldn't I, man? Like, I'm out
Yeah,
in Toowoomba with my wife. We're talking to, some of the nicest people in the industry. We're, collecting new brands for our show that we're doing as a family for an amazing reason. Like, it's a memorial piece. It's a community piece, and we're just happy with what we're doing. Lou and I are both enjoying the expo, and yeah, we're just hoping that we can just go hard. And we're just every day, like, we're getting more and more support from, like, obviously the Fanatics is a big one. Like, Lenny's always been behind us, but just from the brands and like having them come on board and them bouncing ideas to us and being like, oh, what if we did this? I'm like, we fucking do. If you can, bring something unique, people are going to remember that. Like, people are going to remember, like, Skag bringing all the beers last year and selling bloody 6-packs or 4-packs of their own lager. And, I'm just excited to see what they come with this year. Like, they got my back, so they always come hard.
Skag's like the little I've had. So, you don't want Skag on your back either. No, they've always been grouse. Like, we've been lucky enough, like one of the local hire guys here, not like Kennards or Coates or anything, it's DV Hire. He has a Skag, and it hammers. Like, it's so comfy to sit on. Yeah. It just cuts really nice. Like, as I said, I'm lucky enough, a lot of my clients have got different brands, different size, and like the Skag is, for me, that's not got any association with anyone and doesn't really, I don't have a ride on, so I just sort of see it as it is. They're easily the best one we've like used. They're easily the best. They're the quickest. They maybe, I don't know, because I probably need a catch pro. Whoa, probably need the catch pro on it. Yeah. I know. Yeah, send it over. I need the new Jeppo for my new Skag.
Yeah. Oh, too. I've put out the call. I met Country Trucker Cap crew at the show too. So I asked them to come along. They do have another show that's very close. I think it's AgFest or AgQuip or one of those. But I'm trying to get these absolute legends across the line too. So that would be fun. But
we listened to two vlogs. It was a cheetah, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
man, that's what I'm rolling.
It's quick. It's real quick and real comfy. The seat's so comfy.
So I have to go back and have an argument with Andrew Triffett. So he reached out to Skag because I was telling them on their website, it is really underselling the machine. On their website, I think they're topping out at like 20Ks or something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking telling you right now, it goes faster. So at this council site we've got this Speedo, and, it's accurate. Every time I go through, same speed, over and over and over again. Then I drop it into transport mode, and it's fucking hitting these big numbers over and over again. So, like up around the 24 Ks an hour mowing, and then when you punch it into transport, it fucking goes 28 Ks an hour. I was like, no wonder. Like, it's fun. Like, it's a fun machine, and it's got a mint cut, very powerful machine. If you're not like, it can slash, but like, I don't put my machines through that kind of shit anymore. Like, if I'm going to, I'll probably use the V-Ride, because the V-Ride has exactly the same deck. I think with the way the belt system is, it's a bit further of a throw. It like spews the grass out a bit more. It could be as well, we've got Catch Pro bracket on there, and it blocks off a back couple of inches of the chute. So maybe it's forcing more out of a smaller area. But that fucking 61-inch V-Ride's doing some absolute damage on our hills and stuff we have now. So I won't get too excited about Skag, because I'll just fucking sit here and yak all day.
That's a problem. Like, I could sit here and talk about that shit all day long, because you get your little industry hard on for it, and then it's like finally you meet someone that can, give it back, and you're like, oh, fuck, this guy gets it, instead of like trying to explain it to your missus, and she's like, eat a dick, mate, shut up. It's like, as if I care, and you're like, nah, but like the wheels on this one, and then check it out. And it's just like, as if they care. That's like, you had the guy from Rosebud on Skag. I can't remember his name.
Fucking Will from Rosebud Mowers and Chainsaw and Mower.
So my in-laws, it's not my house yet, but my in-laws have a house in Capel Sound, which is where his old shop used to be, that little set of shops there.
Yeah.
But I used to always go in there and see him, and I was like, fuck, these Skag mowers are pretty sweet. These are like sort of 10 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe 6. Yeah, 8 years ago. And I thought he just shut down. I didn't realise he moved into an industrial area, because I'm only there like, I don't know, 2-3 times a year, and I'm not when I'm down at the beach, I'm not really caring about work. Yeah. But it's like, because I used to see it because it was next to the bottle shop, and there's a little bar there and stuff. It was a good little spot. But now it's like, they've always sort of been front of mind, but you don't see that many people kicking about on them. Like, working in Melbourne, especially in
Apparently
Melbourne.
a lot more in Melbourne than anywhere else. That's where they're
Really?
hubbing. So International Mowers is only down the road from where the show is.
Yeah.
It's like maybe 15 minutes. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it kind of grew out of Melbourne and Victoria. So yeah, they're becoming really popular up here. We got some really good dealers on board. Sydney is kicking off a little bit harder. Like, you know, you got Joe at Sylvie's, you got Scotty, Ulladulla. Yeah, there's some really, like, that's one thing with Skag is like they don't have a million dealers, but the dealers they have are fucking so just focused on servicing their customers and especially their commercial customers. Because that's look, I harp on about it when I talk to all the brands. I'm like, you know, what kind of dealers are you guys looking for? And if they're not really aiming for commercial dealers, I'm like, you're missing so much of the market. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'll go in just on a fucking spur of the moment and I'll drop like, you know, $1,200-1,300 on equipment. Like, I don't go in and ask for a fucking fuel filter for a machine that I've been using for the last 10 years. Yeah, we'll like, that's one thing we're aiming to also bring dealers into the Lawn and Land Equip Expo family and sort of get them involved as well, because they're just such a good like reach into the community as well. Like, you know, commercial operators are always in, and if we can get someone like Danny from Dawn, like there's sky's the limit. Like obviously you deal with him, like Marvel Stadium deal with him, so that's going to bring in good quality commercial operators. And yeah, I've got other brands working on Danny for me, so I'm just so hopeful that he comes, because I did meet him at the last show, and yeah, I didn't actually know who he was then because it was such a fucking wild experience. Yeah,
Mate, those guys at Dawn done me such a solid. Probably, I'll try to find you the photos, but it's got to be 6 years ago, I reckon. We got that big job on Mount Pleasant Road. It's got a Toro, the buggy with the lifter and stuff on the back of it. I can't remember the name. It's like Work Caddy or something like that it's called. I can't remember. Anyway, we were in the paddock and there was a fallen tree and I was just cutting it up with a chainsaw. And the guy that was working with me, we were loading it into the back and then we were driving the wood around, making a pile so that they could burn it off like down the track, because it's a huge joint with heaps of fireplaces. Anyway, for some reason, Jono at the time drives it down. I'm not even sort of paying attention, and he's parked it straight on the hill.
Yep.
And we're like loading wood into it. It's getting pretty heavy, not even thinking. It's just parked straight on instead of sideways like you would on a downward hill.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, it must have been 200 by 50 mil, this tiny little section of wood that I just sort of snapped off. And I just went, whoop, lobbed it. It bounces off the wood in the back, over the rail, hits the handbrake, and the whole buggy rolls off and launches off a cliff into a dam. And then the seats and the wood just float up, and the dam just goes to the very bottom. And it was like July or August in Melbourne, freezing. It's like a 3 meter deep dam. It could have been further. Anyway, it's like, at that point, you're just like, what the fuck do I do with this? Like, the buggy's gone. Like, it's not my buggy. What am I going to do? Anyway, we see the seats float up to the top, and I'm like, well, it's clearly there. We're good to go. And I swim in. It's pitch black in this dam, like pitch black. The guy stocks it with trout because he loves fishing, and I'm in my jocks trying to find this thing. I swim down, find the bull bar, wrap rope around it. We drag it up as much as we can because somehow, like, it's obviously in water, so it's a bit more buoyant. So we managed to drag this buggy to a point where we've
got no handbrake on.
yeah. The handbrake's gone. Fuck. So then he had a Jeep Wrangler as well with a winch on the front of it, and I'm swimming back in the pitch black. Like, this thing is deep. I get down, manage to get the winch around the front, and we just skull drag the fuck out of this buggy up over rocks and got it out. And sure enough, it turned over. Just no seats, nothing. But it was fucked. And the guys at Dawn done me a solid because I'd done a fair bit of work with them. And yeah, I think they charged me like $2,000 cash. Don't tell anyone. But it got it back on, and it's been going ever since. Like I took a photo of it the other day. The seats are still like all the foam's gone out of it and stuff, but it's still fangs. So it's just like, note to self: never park on a downward hill and fill it full of wood and lob logs at it. It was like the amount of dumb stories I've had, and just like,
give them to me. So that's one thing as well. Like everybody has fucked up stories. Like I've found fucking dildos, cock socks, all sorts of wacky shit. You are in like billionaire. Yeah, do you ever walk in and there's like a fucking Diddy party going on or something like that?
I've never seen the baby oil parties, thankfully. I'm not
like
Puff Daddy or nothing.
The party?
Fuck me, I slipped straight out of it. Nah, definitely like walk past a lot of like, you know, young mums or whatever, the babies, and then you're like putting the food boob away and you're like, what, Jesus, like keep walking, pretend you've never seen anything.
Yeah.
And then just everybody keep your eyes at the ground. But like, we've had just a bunch of weird shit, like, I don't know, just like we had this one woman, it was in a pretty nice area, Ivanhoe, and she made us work on Saturdays because she had to be there to see it. And she's this little Italian woman, and she wasn't. She was Aussie as, but she told us she was Italian. And everything in her house was Ferrari. And she called us the Aussies. You Aussies are the worst, you Aussies. And you wanted, like, she'd be like, I'll make you a coffee. I'm like, yeah, cool. And she'd be having a cigarette, and the house was just this plume of smoke. Wow. And be like, all right, we've got to start work. All right, Rosemary, we've got to start. She's like, I'm still smoking. It's rude to leave while I'm still smoking. I'm like, fuck, all right, yeah, cool. Yeah, exactly. And you go there, and it's just like dog shit everywhere. This woman was mental. Anyway, she'd call me up, and she'd be like, Andy, you didn't come today. What's your story? I'm like, you paid me cash. What do you mean I didn't come today? She's like, I know that. It was a test. Anyway, we later found out, like a few months later, that when we were having a coffee and we thought she was having a glass of water, turns out it was a tumbler of vodka she was drinking, and she was just passing out. And she was just mental, man.
You've got your own Nola.
Oh, she was psycho. And we had, what else? Like, I think the group chat, one of the group chats you were in that I'm in, we had like, I was transplanting a plant and digging down, and it would have been a foot of soil I took out, and there was a G-string in the bottom of the pot. And then I just like pulled it out. I'm like, what am I meant to do with this? I just like threw it away.
And the owner's obviously hidden that for some reason.
The same client, like we went there one day and the daughter was out like topless, like sunbathing. And we're like, oh shit, sorry, didn't mean to. And she was like, oh no, like if you don't care, I don't care. We're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then she got up and left, and we're like, okay, cool. Obviously, like, she's, you know, going to go put a top on. And she just went and got beers and came back. And we're like, what's going on here?
Like, beers for you guys as well?
No, just herself. Oh. We're like, this is a stitch-up, right? Like, we're on camera or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I got so many weird stories. Like, when you're working in someone's space, like their private space, they just sort of, especially after years of being in their space, like, I've got clients that I've had for 13 years. So you're like, you're part of the family. Like, we had this one little old lady. She was the 96-year-old. She was awesome. Yeah. And her husband, like, he'd get there in the morning, be like 10 to 8 in the morning, and he'd be out sitting on his mobility scooter thing in the front yard, and he'd be having a cigarette, and he'd be like, oh, in his pajamas, and he'd be like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't realise we had company. So he'd go back inside and put a hat on and come back out. And he's like, all right, I'm good. And then she'd come out and she'd have like a big black eye. She'd be like, oh, that's John's been bashing me again.
Oh,
and you're just like,
shit.
Wait, what? And she's like, nah, I fell over. And you're like, fuck. And then she'd go get, like, she got me like an ice cream, and I had to like mow the lawns at like 8 o'clock in the morning, eating a cornetto. I'm like, when you're in people's space, you just kind of have to you just have to cop it. You know, you're just like, yeah, that's, as long as you pay your bill, I don't care.
100%. Yeah, that's what a lot of, like you see on LMCA, like a lot of people are past that point in their business, and you know, their opinion is so warped now. They don't remember some of that shit, and they're telling these young people like, oh no, you're better than that. It's like, fucking everyone's got to earn their stripes. Like, you need to fucking crawl through the mud first. Like,
that page has got some wild opinions on it. Like, I'm all for it. It's great, and it shows everyone where you can start and how to get it. I wish something like that was around when I started, because
me too.
There wasn't. It was just like the IGA, local IGA notice board is how I was getting work, and just hoping that someone wanted me or rang me. But like now there's some stuff getting in. You're like, man, that garden is not worth. They're like, charge $1,000 or don't do it. And you're like, come on, like, how about you just do
Yeah.
the job, earn your stripes, get a bit of money, buy the better tools so you can do the better job. Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, it's like I did a 4-year apprenticeship, I did schooling, I did everything. It's like you got to earn your shit before you get the top jobs. Like, and it's
Yeah.
still for me. I look at like bigger companies and I go, oh, that's where I want to be. Like, I want to be the next step. And I still love being on the tools. I don't want to be off them full time, but
Yeah,
1 or
that's
2
it.
days off the tools and then having a better team and then just being like, yeah, I want to be in that sort of top, say 20 companies of Melbourne that people think of or whatever. There's no one's judging that shit. It's probably in my own head. But like, yeah, for sure. I was still just doing the dog shit lawns with my Ryobi whippersnipper from Bunnings, just getting cash so that I could eat my shape sandwiches. Like, you
Yeah.
got to do that stuff because that's how you put hairs on your chest. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
if you
it.
can
'Cause
get through that, then you're allowed to do the good stuff because
if
you know you've not earned it, but you're willing to do the shit stuff to get to the good stuff.
That's it. Like you have to, and charging by experience. Like if you were rolling up to one of those lawns with a Ryobi whippersnipper, like a bent shaft and a Bunnings mower, that's probably not as tough as some of the commercial stuff that's out there. Even though you might do a good job, and it's all about experience when it comes to quoting and stuff. I see like people quoting like $150 an hour. I'm like, fuck. Like, do
Yeah,
you have the tools and the knowledge and the like? I'm not qualified in fuck all, but when I
yeah,
see like youngsters rolling in like green as, and they're
yeah,
charging these big dollars. Look, and again, at the end of the day, if they can get it, they've obviously got the gift of the gab and they're good at that hustle. But when it comes to like old heads like me, like I've haven't been in the industry like half as long as some of the people I know.
yeah,
But yeah, like I did the $50 an hour
yeah,
sort of mark, and then grew it to 60, and then over the last 3 or 4 years, with the way the economy's done us all dirty, like now we're rolling into these big numbers, but they don't mean fuck all. If I was charging what I'm charging now, fucking 6 years ago, I'd be fucking 2 years ahead of where I am now. So yeah, it's all relative. I think like obviously we have to remember that things cost a lot more now. So
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Oh man,
it's hard.
it's tall poppy syndrome as well. But like, I come from a family like my parents are just blue collar. My mum was a nurse. My dad was a boilermaker. Then no one in my family's ever worked for themselves. And now, like, anytime I speak to my mum, she came to the depot and she's like, "Can you afford this? Can you afford this?" I'm like, "I haven't worked for anyone for 13 years, and it's
Yeah,
like I've been on international holidays. I've got a kid. I've bought a house. It's like we got married. You know, it's not. I'm not loaded, but I can. I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? Like you got to
they
do
think
these
you're
things."
dealing drugs or something on the
Yeah, and
side.
she's like, "Oh, you could still get a job at the council." And I'm like, "Fuck, just once believe in me, you know."
Leave me
It's like,
alone,
yeah, but it's just
bro.
like
Like
you got to do the hard yards to be able to step up the next bit. And I think there should be some sort of like, not no one's gatekeeping anything, but it's like there should be, earn your stripes sort of thing, so that you know what you're talking about. Because you can't
yeah,
just go talk to a client, shit, I don't know the answer. Quick, jump on a group chat or jump on Google. Oh yeah, this is the answer. When it's like that's the answer for Colorado, America, or something, because you haven't read a little bit further. Like
yeah.
if you fuck up, then cool, you pay the consequences. But if you know what you're doing, then you get to do that job or whatever it is. Like it's, I
There
don't know.
should be a hazing. Lick this
Yeah,
dog shit. Lick this fucking
yeah.
dog shit.
That's it. The expo should have a paddling segment, and it's like sponsored by fucking Jim's Paddles, and you just go take your pants down.
Yeah.
If you want to whip dog shit into your mouth like the rest of us, you got to get
Fuck.
spanked.
Seriously, like that's one question that just keeps coming up on this podcast is like, do you know what dog shit tastes like? And it's fucked because the majority of people do. That's what I thought when Timmy came on, I thought for sure he would have found like busted dildos, blow up dolls, all sorts of fucked up stuff in that long grass he does. he hasn't found half the shit that I've found. Like
Nah, but you're doing like commercial spaces. No one's leaving their busted dildo in their backyard. You know what I mean?
yeah, fucking dead frangers are the worst, man. When you fucking cruise along and you can't pull up fast enough and you just spit this franger across the fucking footy field. And yeah, like it's always in like a little obscure place where you wouldn't think you'd find a dead rubber. You're just cruising along on the zero turn in this open field, and someone must have had like a Friday night fuck in the middle of the
some other dude's
field.
been cruising as well. Yeah.
Like, whoa, fucking hell, that's a full one. Oh, mate. And then you come back 2 weeks later and the whole field's fucking fertilised from that point on. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe ICL.
Protein in the field.
I'll start making my own fucking fortune.
You got your special mix. That's the next step, right? That's what all the Instagram guys do. They've got their own brand. They've got their own special sauce. It's like that could be yours, mate.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that's happening a lot. A lot of guys are going out, and girls. I fucking can't discriminate here. I'm fucking sorry about that, ladies. But a lot of girls and guys are going out and they're doing their own ferts and like chems and all. Like I think that's awesome. Like there are a few big players that are at the top of the food chain when it comes to chems and ferts. But the little ones might turn a bit of coin. I'm not sure.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm not big on fert and chem. Like I'm really, because I do like that big wide acreage mowing.
Yeah.
Or, you can't fucking go to the council and say, hey, you've got 150 acres here. Can I fucking fertilise this? Because like get fucked, mate. And same with like the footy clubs. So I work really close with another guy, Steve Marshall up here, and he's phenomenal at what he does, and we work really close. So he takes care of all the fert, chem, all that, and I just roll and we whip and we do the hedging and sort of like how you work with a landscaper and then you take care. Like he does the finer points and I come in like a wrecking ball.
That's kind of, to be honest, that's the more, I guess, better jobs we get and the nicer work we take on, and I guess the overall quantity of job, we've realized that if you're not niching down, but if you're sticking to your specialty, like we're plants people, we've got your lawns and stuff like that, we can fix your irrigation, but we're not installing it. We're not doing landscaping, because then you get this nice little crew. Like I've got probably 10 or 12 like elite landscapers that we work with, that they handball the work to us to maintain. And it's just like, it's just straight away they go, we're not guaranteeing this job unless you use leaf by leaf. Yeah. And then we've got landscape designers as well, ranging from like Miles Baldwin up in Sydney. He does heaps of work down here too, like Paul Bangay, like some of the best of the best. And then we've got some of the smaller ones that are like just up and comers that will be the best of the best at the time. But they go, hey, if you want the garden cleaned up before we start, get this team in, and then get like afterwards use these guys to make our image come alive. And it's like we've realized if we just don't try and, like, I offer a little bit of design, I offer consults and stuff like that, but I don't really market it because I don't want to shit where I eat, sort of thing. So
100%.
We just stick to what we're good at and then let everyone else do what they're good at. And if you all come together, like we've got arborists, we've got irrigation guys, we've got this like crew that we just sort of handball work to. It just works out really fucking good if you just keep doing. Do your bit.
Yells networking. Network.
Yeah, it is, man. And social media, for sure. Instagram's great for it. Podcasts are grouse because then it lets you go, fuck, I never would have heard of this guy in Sydney or Queensland or whatever, but like we've got so much in common.
Yeah.
Or then you go to your networking nights at your expo, or you just walk around, or a tool person. It's like, I realize the more you're sort of open to never be like, the more I've learned about the industry of being open and accepting to everyone, and no one's trying to steal your work. Like, if you handball someone work, it'll come back. You're not losing work. You're just keeping everyone in work. It's not like, oh, fuck, I gave them a $10,000 job. Now they owe me. You know, it's like, no, just keep the good times rolling, because then everyone's happy and everyone's doing a good result, because they're like, I don't advertise. I don't know about you, but it's like, we don't advertise other than Instagram. And it's like, people know about us, or they hear about us, or they go, oh, someone like I had a designer down in Inverloch, which is down in Gippsland, recommend me for a job in Eltham last week. And it's like,
Yeah.
they're like a 2.5 hour drive away.
Yeah.
Like how I've met this person once and she's like, nah, they're your team. You got to use them. It's like the more you're sort of open to, I don't know, industry friendships or whatever you want to call it.
Your work and your personality kind of speak for what you do. Like, I think 90% of getting a quote or getting a lead from someone else is to do with how you are as a person.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not to do with your work. Like, that's always important.
100%.
But that first interaction is always the most important. I know when like going to Farm Fest or something like that, I know straight away whether this person's going to be receptive or whether they're just going to fucking blow me off. And I get it. And, you know, I don't walk up to people pretending like I'm some fucking, oh, my name's fucking Brandon. I'm from fucking, I'm like, hey man, how you doing? Like, my name's BJ. My wife and I, because Lou was with me, and we're putting together this expo, and like, we're just, you know, really building a community, and it's going for a couple of years. It's got a great cause behind it. And yeah, fucking, as soon as like I don't get a good reception from that, I know that they're not interested at all. They're not who I should be talking to in that company, or that company is not one that's going to jump on board.
That's also good for you too. Like that's we're now at the point where if people give me a weird vibe, because it's like a back and forth, that interview process of, do I want to work for you? Do you want me to work for you? And it's like, you got to go back and forth. And if it feels good, then you're going to be fine. And that's how you get, it's relationships. Like 90% of our job is client relations, and then cutting grass or shaping plants or fertilizing is just the leftovers. You know what I mean? Like, because there's so many dudes or girls that can do it, it's just like, you've got to be the personality or the point of difference, where it's like they're comfortable with you around their kids. They're comfortable with you around them when they're in their pajamas. They're comfortable with you when they're on holidays. Like, I've got clients, we do a job, we looked after their house for 3.5 years before they moved into the country. Like, and we just sort of met them once, built up a little nice relationship, and then they went, oh, we're going back to China. I didn't see him for 3.5 years. And then we've got other clients, like big one in Turak. She's gone to her house in Tuscany for 3 months. Here's the keys. You know, make sure it looks good when I get back. Like, you just, it's so much trust. Me, my joint, I'm like, oh, fuck, I need a Sparky to come. Oh, I'm not going to let that prick in my house. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to be there. It's just like, but these people, they're just like so used to having service or people around them, their kids. Like, we got jobs we do. There's like the chef, the nanny, the cleaner, the pool guy, us, the window cleaner. A light bulb goes out, so they need an electrical engineer to come in with an iPad. Like, it's just this army of people there, and you're like, these kids are growing up with just these strangers in their house all the time. Like, you gotta be a point of difference to be a nice person, I think, is the first foot in the door, and then your work speaks for itself afterwards. That keeps you in the job. You start the job.
Look at me. Like, I'm not the kind of person that people would normally be like, oh, come on into my fucking house. Like, I'm fucking bearded, tattoos, my legs, like, you can't see right now, but from foot all the way up to balls, I'm tattooed.
Yeah.
On one leg at least, like the other leg's got like halfway up. But
I'm the same, man. Like,
most of the time, people, I'm talking on the phone and I'll talk to them and I'll be super professional. And I am, like, I do wear my, you know, who I am all the time, and then, you know, my professionalism hat. But when I rock up and they see me, like, it's just the interaction is exactly how it was on the phone. Like, yeah, it is, like I said, like it's about who you are, not necessarily what you do in the gardens. Absolutely,
and that's how, again, with your networking, like, because you go, the client trusts you, and then the contractors trust you, or it might be the landscaper or the irrigation guy or the Sparky. You've built a relationship with the Sparky that was on the job the same week as you, so then he recommends you because he's seen your branding on your car, and he went, fuck, they do a good job. Like, you just, it's not that you have to be overly nice, but just don't be a prick when you're in someone's backyard. It's like, we're the same. Like, there's 5 of us, 4 of us are covered in tats. Mine are elbows to knees, like nearly, like goes right up my ass. Like, all my chest is done. I've got nose rings. We've all got beards. Like, yeah, and even I go stereotypes. So there's Dero with his tattoos, and I go look at me like, fuck, that's me. Like feet are fully done. Two of the guys that work for us have got full leg sleeves, full arm sleeves. Yeah, I think there's only one guy that doesn't have a nose ring, but it's like that doesn't change you as a person. That sort of lets them box hole you, and you just have to prove them wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It does get a bit awkward when I'm digging around in the garden and my knife and fork slips out of the back of my pants. I've got a knife and fork tattooed on my ass, and it's fucking real big, eh? Like, I don't know. I'm never going to get it removed because, like it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've got a big chicken fighting a snake, a tiger snake, up the back of my leg. Goes from the back of my knee to right up on my arse cheek. And I always say it looks like I've got two cocks wrestling on the back of my ass.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I was thinking of putting it out there and doing like a little raffle for the brands, just to get a little bit of extra coin in the kitty for the Children's Hospital, and say like,
buy this skin.
Yeah, you can fucking buy this
brand
skin.
you.
Yeah, you can actually brand me, or you can fucking do whatever. But I think that's a bit far. The one thing I won't do, which I've thought about 100 times, is losing the beard, letting someone chop the beard off.
Yeah,
especially not at the expo because fucking what's under here, I don't even know. It could be an absolute fucking mess under here. But,
I've had mine close to that long, and when I took it off, because it gets, I don't know how you go, but I get so itchy and stuff, and it doesn't matter how much beard oil I use and stuff, I still get flaky, beard drift or whatever, and then I just
Muscle Beard Australia, bro.
Oh yeah, I heard you got your brand.
Fucking love it, man.
As soon as I whip it off, instant regret. It's just instant, and they go, that was like 4 years of growth. There's no way I'm getting that back. Like, instant regret.
I think my code probably still will work. All the codes that we used to have for the skull sessions will still work, like skull in all caps. Same for Muscle Beard Australia. I've been reached out to by a lot of brands for, obviously the bearded lawnsman hits pretty hard when you're talking about, beards and shit like that. So I have tried pretty much every brand, and I fucking keep going back to Muscle Beard Australia because it's not all these fucking 30 different flavors. It is one oil, one clay, one fucking pomade. I don't have fucking hair, so I can't slick that shit back. And they do a couple of other products like a wash and they have a little bit of, like, they're really super niche, and they just make fucking products that hit the spot. Like the oil is super thick, fucking glistens. Like, look at this. Look at it.
You look good. You look good, mate.
Look, I didn't even know. Like, I just looked at the camera before. I was like, fuck, look at this little fucking blonde bit down the middle. I look like I'm trying to be. Mate. Look like I'm trying to be the opposite to Guy Fieri.
It's not sun flare, mate. It's, you ever see out in the sun.
Maybe I'll put a background on the podcast. And I'll be like,
you just been putting lemon juice down it.
Yeah, I don't want to say what I heard this is from. I
tell you what, though, like, it would be another thing, but honestly, there'd be a couple things that all the guys or all the people in the industry would know. Like, you got to have good boots, like comfy boots and socks. Yeah. Beard oil if you're doing it, so you're not flaky and itchy when the weather changes and stuff like that. Good jocks, man. There's enough of us out there that are chafing. If you could get, like, I know, Step One or something like that, or any of those Aussie jock brands that are like cupping your bits and stopping your sweat, like, that's a big thing in the industry. There's a lot of big dudes in our industry, and if you are comfy, there's surely a market there.
Tradies. I have to admit, I went back to tradies, and they have these long, like, I call them man pants, but they're kind of like the Step Ones.
Yeah.
They're comfortable, man, and they last for a long time. Like, my Step Ones kind of, this was like the OG Step Ones. They fell apart relatively quick, but these fucking tradies ones, fuck, my missus like, throw them away. I'm like, nah. One of the scariest things though, when you wear those kind of things, is like when a little bit of scrotum exits a little hole, and you fucking walking around like, oh, something's not good, and then you fucking get home and you got this fucking bit of baggage that's fucking slipped through a crack.
I got a story for you. One of my mates is in the industry. There's a plant, you guys will probably have it up there for sure. It's like euphorbia. It's like wolfeni.
Yep.
It's like grey blue colour with a yellow flower, but it has this white sap. Yep. Anyway, my mate was cutting a whole bunch of them out. It grows like a weed down here.
Yeah.
He's cutting a whole bunch of them out and had heaps of it on his hands, the white sap, and didn't realise, went for a piss, got it all over his bits. That weekend was his Bucks party.
Oh.
And he just got the worst rash all over his junk. And his missus he had strippers at his Bucks party. His missus didn't believe him that it was from a plant. And we call it, that was about 10 years ago. We still call it spicy nuts.
Oh.
No one calls it euphorbia. It's just spicy nuts. He had like a huge rash all over his bits. And we're just like, mate, what were you thinking? And also, what were you doing when you went for a piss?
Yeah, he's fondling your fucking ring.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's one thing though. Like, I've only found a couple of plants that I actually react to. One of them's that big variegated fucking agave looking thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking one of the boys. I remember when he was working for Ben, he actually chainsawed one out with no shirt on and just got absolutely bukkakied. He's fucking, and he had to go to hospital. It was
shit.
So bad, man. It like just cooks your skin. We've had a few fun run-ins with like sharp things and itchy things, and like
itchy's
we fucking
the worst.
don't get paid enough for the shit we encounter.
Nah, man. And you remember it pretty quick, like the one that got you. Like,
yeah.
I remember standing on a lemon tree branch in my first week as an apprentice, and it just went straight through my boot, the thorn, straight into my foot. And I didn't know fruit trees had thorns because I was, young.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen it before. And all of a sudden, from there on out, like anything with thorns, I'm just so hyper aware of it. Got like morning glory vine down here that has this like fibrous powder that comes off it, and it just makes you itchy as fuck. It's got this big blue flower. It's really pretty, but it just grows super fast. It's just a massive weed. And it just, if you're ripping it out, you breathe it in. It's like plane trees and stuff. Like it just feels like you've got fiberglass in your lungs. Yeah. It just makes you itchy. Like, the amount of stuff that you just take during the day to day, they're like, oh yeah, that's just the job, right? Like no one else is going into the office and just like getting stung ants. Flat out.
I keep a fucking jar of bull ants next to my bed now. It's the only way I get hard. I fucking chuck a few of those in my undies before we go.
That is step one.
Fucking maybe I can get a sponsor. But no, it is crazy how used to you, like I don't really have that next to my bed. It is pretty crazy how many like encounters with like wasps and spiders and shit like that. Where
snakes.
Like my hands look like a dog's chewed on them. Like they're all wrecked from different bites, and like they swell up, and like my ring is fucking completely glued on. My wedding ring, like it's not fucking coming off easy. But wasp bites, stings just become just part of the job, especially like those cheeky
big
dogs.
paper wasps.
Yeah, and they like line up on a fence, and you'll be doing a fence line on a zero turn, and you'll just be like, just out of the blue, like it's just nothing, and then you're like,
just been shot in the back of the leg. Yeah.
Fucking oath. And like they always go for the face. Like I remember moving a chair at my mum's place, and I got tagged right under the eye, and I looked like fucking Elephant Man for 2 days. Will, the young dude who just who's on his way out, he fucking I found a nest, and it, for some reason he was just determined he wanted to knock it down. I was like, don't, dude, don't. And he tried to hit it with a stick, and he snapped the stick, and they fucking got pissed off. And then he came back when they settled down with the same stick that was half as big as it was before.
He deserves it.
Tried to whack it. And fucking got him right in the middle of right between the eyes.
He deserves it.
And his fucking nose just blew up, his whole face, like his eyes closed up. He had to have fucking 2 days off. And I'm like, fuck. Not to do it. I was like, you fuck. Oh, man. Oh, dude.
We've got a few clients with beehives, like they keep bees at their property. And you can, when you got the backpack blower on, you can feel them, like they start to like, all of a sudden they're flying past your face aggressively. Like they're pretty good. And then it's like, boom, and they're like knocking into you. They're not stinging you, but they're like warning you. And you're like, I'm fucked there. So I don't get paid enough to get smashed by 400 bees.
Fuck yeah. Oh man, that's like, we're pretty lucky up here that none of my customers really have beehives, but I've never actually been stung by a bee. So
we got bees and wasps. They're probably the two biggest culprits. We've got snakes. couple of the bigger properties we look after, it's all browns and tigers, which is a bit shit. Like that one big property that we look after is I think we're up to 22 snakes on the one. That's why I got the chicken and the snake fighting on the back of my leg, because they had a huge chicken coop there. And he used to go feed them every week. That was part of the job. We just started feeding and looking after their chickens for them. Yeah. And then one day the chickens were going nuts, and we're like, what's going on? And they had a tiger snake, and they were just wrecking this tiger. Like, they were all sort of banded together. And we're like, yeah, chickens rule. Yeah. And then a fox came and fucked them all up. But,
okay, yeah. Yeah, that'll fuck a chicken coop for sure. No, they
that job's got a lot going on.
You see them taking out rats and shit, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool when they coop together.
Standing over it, like, they're pretty staunch, like front heavy little fucking things. Like, yeah, get it.
Yeah, it's like a mother's club, like 12 angry women just ready to fight, like looking for the car park at IKEA or something. They're all like, get him! Yeah.
Get him! Oh, fuck yeah. That is exactly what it's like. And they just rush in together. No fight etiquette.
Man, that job, it's so cooked. I wasn't there that day, thankfully, but they've got 6 Rottweilers and 1 German Shepherd, and they used to have 4 of them in like a dog run.
Yeah.
And they were pretty young. I wasn't there on the day, but apparently they dug under the fence, got into where the sheep were, and it was just like something out of Saving Private Ryan. Like, there was just parts of sheep everywhere. A few of them ran off the cliff where the buggy went off into the dam, and they'd like all swollen up, and were just like just sheep bits everywhere. And these just proud as punch Rottweilers that we were like pretty friendly with them, like patting them and like, yeah, they're like cruisy dogs. Nah, they just went full pack mentality and just destroyed these animals. It was so horrible.
And they would have had the best time doing it too.
Yeah, they would have been so happy. Yeah. They're massive dogs, man. Like, one of them's called, we call her Bob, but her name's Bao Bao. It's a Chinese name. I think it's like cute one or something it means, but her head, I've got a big head. Like, I wear like one of the biggest Akuba's. It's like a 61 or something. It's big. This dog makes me look like a peanut. Like, it is ginormous. And I used to like pat her a fair bit, and she's just been beaten down. Like, she just hates everyone now. She's like a tiger at Las Vegas ready to kill someone. And I went in, patted her one day, and she grabbed my finger. And it was like a warning. Yeah. And she ripped it. And I got a blood blister right down the top and the bottom of my finger. And then they told me she was pregnant. I was just like, so I'm just like come in and tried to like sort of pat her around the back of the head. And she's just like ready to give birth and just cracked it and just gave me a warning. God. And I was just like, fuck, you got to tell the guys this. Like, give us a heads up.
Fuck.
But then when she had her puppies, I just sat and played with them for weeks. So like,
that would have been awesome, man. I've been bitten by heaps of sausage dogs and little dogs. Like, they're the ones that always fucking get me.
Yeah,
That's what my kids want. They're like, "Can we get a sausage dog?" I'm like, "Fuck no." I was like, "Well,
the little ones are the angry ones.
A blue staffy, because that's what Lou and I want. Like, we've always wanted a blue staffy, or a we used to have a staffy cross pug, and he was a fucking awesome animal. So I'm more leaning towards a Bitzer because number one, they are not fucking $5,000 for a
way cheaper.
I've got a pedigree Devon Rex cat because he's supposed to be hypoallergenic, and he's fucking morbidly obese. He fucking cost me a fortune. He had a fat attack, like a legit, had to take him to the vet for pancreatitis because he stole a bit of pork fat and ate a whole chunk of pork fat, and now we just can't get him skinny. We're like, oh fuck me. He's a good cat until he's a fuckwit. And during winter and during summer, like into and out of, he sheds. He's got like this different kind of hair. It's like wool. Like he's a fucking cool looking cat. He's not hairless, but he's like semi-hairless.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. He's just so vocal and everything. But he does have his moments where he's a really cool cat. So I tolerate him. But yeah, when it comes to dogs, I'm like, I'm not getting a little dog like that. Like, I know that people have these really great sausage dog and stuff, but my experiences are all fucking bad.
It's another part of the job, though, isn't it? Like, it's another one that you got to go into. Like, you might have met the owner for 5 minutes, got the gig, and then they're like, "Yeah, I've got a dog, but she's fine." And then you go in there and it's backing off, growling at you, and you're about to start a whippersnipper near its head, and you're like, yeah, this should be fine. I'll be fine. Dogs don't normally bite strangers. Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
man. Fuck.
It
Oh,
is, for us, it's probably like the best part of the job, to be fair, just for getting paid to play with other people's dogs.
yeah, it is. It is one of the cooler things. There's been some really cool. I've had one that was a bit scary, but she was okay when the owner was there. But when I was there, and it was this jet black, is it a cane Corso? It's got they've got like beautiful, big, fucking monstrous.
There's like
it was
demon
his
looking
tiny
ones.
little backyard, and yeah, it kind of looked like a pit bull from some fucking magical land. It was jet black, and it was the most beautiful dog until I was there one-on-one with it, and it was fucking sketchy as. I'd always be watching my back, just waiting to get fucking tagged. But you know, it is part of the you got to take the good with the bad. That's one thing that's not so fun.
Yeah, we got this one bulldog. It's so dumb. It's got the jaw that comes out under it, like the overbite and stuff.
Yeah.
And it tries to bite the whippersnapper every time. And one day, like, I was just like, get out, Trixie, fuck off. Like, trying to yell at it, trying to take it away, like, move it away. It doesn't want to bite you, but it hates the whippersnapper.
Yeah.
And I told the client, and just like, you just got to deal with it. And then one day I looked, and it just had blood, right, like full Joker face. I'm like, no, this is going to come back on me. And like, it just didn't even flinch. It just went back and back. I'm like, this dog has no brain. Like, it is the dumbest dog I've ever met. Just trying to bite the whippersnapper the whole time.
Some of those psycho ones that fucking jam their face underneath a fence from a neighbour's.
Yeah.
You're fucking cruising along and you might not be paying attention. You hear the, mate, and you fucking snip this fucking dog on the nose through the fence and you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Like, it makes me fucking sad. Like, I love
yeah, of course.
And I'm like, oh no. Like, fuck, when I run over random fucking animals like a snake or something like that, I hit a python, and only people on YouTube will get this one, but when you run over a snake, you never really kill it on the first go. And it was just like this. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I had to fucking double tap him like I was in fucking zombie land or something. I had to run back over him and finish him. That's happened twice. Once with a brown snake and once with a python. Brown snake, I was kind of like,
I hate snakes. Yeah, good.
Fucking, we're going to get me somewhere down the track anyway.
Driving.
So.
I hate snakes. I stopped one day and an old boy was driving out rural, and I pulled over, like a bird flew into my car and smashed, and I was just like, fuck, pulled up, and I could see it was sort of like, it was concussed.
Yeah.
It was, like it'd been playing NRL, like it was gone. And I was just like, oh, fuck. And this old guy in the paddock's like, what are you doing, mate? And I was like, oh, a bird hit me car. He's like, who gives a shit? And I was like, I do? It's like, I'm like,
gangster, man.
I just like picked it up, moved it to the side of the road. I'm just like, oh, did that a few weeks ago. I was like cutting down this tree next door at a job, and I could hear this like, like little squeaks. And I was like, oh, shit, I've hit a possum nest or something. There must be baby possums here. I'm like, find them, like these tiny little possums. I'm like, fuck, all right. Went into my car, found like an old face mask, like a dust mask.
Yeah.
Like made this little nest, sort of like flicked them in with some leaflet. I'm like, I don't want to touch them in case like, I wreck the mum doesn't come back or whatever. I don't know. And then like I've made this little nest for them, covered them up. I looked a little bit closer. I'm like, I don't look like possums. I like Googled it, and I just made this nest for 5 rats. I'm just like, oh my God, the rats are sweet.
That's so good, though. That's fucking, I'm exactly the same.
I was like, surely that's good karma coming back. 5 rats, and I'm like, here, oh, my children, they need food and water.
I've done the same thing. Like, I've taken so many birds to the vet. Like, we found a kookaburra in some barbed wire, and I was like, oh, fuck, this poor dude. Got him, and then, like, I'm driving in the truck with a fucking kookaburra under my arm because all I had was a shirt. And he's fucking, those beaks, like, they
yeah, man, they hammer you. Yeah.
Fuck, I was just like, oh, no. And I was like, trying to film it for my kids, like, oh, this is Harry, the fucking kookaburra. And, it's like taking fucking shots at my jugular. And I was like, hey, man, like,
I'm trying to help you.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking poor Harry, he never fucking got past the front door. He went into the vet, and then I got a call maybe like 15 minutes later, and they're like, oh, he's fucking cactus, mate. His bones hanging out of his wing. I'm like, I didn't know. But I've had like kingfishers and magpies and all sorts, and like I'll always try and like I found a fucking baby hare because we don't have rabbits up here, which is something my children
Lucky
fucking
you.
hate because they would love a rabbit. It's
Do you get-
it's a 40.
Do you get toads where you are?
Oh, fucking cane toads, bro! This is this is the hot spot for cane toads.
Yeah,
How about down
right.
there?
No,
Are they
I've never even seen
everywhere?
it. No, we don't. No, we don't have cane toads, but rabbits are brutal down here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't think they use myxomatosis anymore, but it's like whatever they're using these days isn't working because you'll just go up like a back road and they are just everywhere. And they're just
what I
same thing.
heard.
Like we were talking about the kangaroos, like this year, the rabbits and the roos are just, they've got nothing to eat. So they're just going to town on everything else. And then we just get the other big thing for us is possums, like bushtails and ringtails. They'll just hammer new growth on fruit trees, hedges, everything. They're like the
target
two
lily
big
pillies and
culprits.
stuff as well, don't they? Like
Everything, man.
just
Yeah,
the
they
natives?
eat half a lemon. Like they'll just eat the skin off a lemon.
Yeah.
It's a real hard. Like people tell you, they're like, "Oh, we've got possums. Like they're coming in, they're eating the bark off the tree." Like, no, that's rats, man. And they're like,
Yeah.
"What? No, we don't have rats." I'm like, "You've got rats.
Yeah.
That is rats. Possums don't eat the bark. That's rats."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No." And they're like, they're like $12 million house. They're like, "We don't have rats." And you're like, "You got rats." I'm telling you.
You fucking live
But-
on property that's bigger than like we. So our neighbor, he used to have a veggie patch, and he got rid of it because, like, we're in suburbia. There's a bit of bush. There's a bit of a bush track across the road from us, but over the back fence had chickens. Over that side fence had a fucking garden, and it was just like a thoroughfare. There was golden canes lining a back fence.
Yeah.
We thought my daughter and I was having a swim one night, and we thought there was a fucking possum on the fence. It was the biggest rat I've ever seen in my life. And I got a gel blaster after that. I was like, yeah, it's on. But
They eat good in suburbia. We
What's
get
that?
heaps of rats. The rats eat good in suburbia. Like
Oh,
we get
yeah.
heaps of them. I live right near some army barracks, the Simpsons barracks, and so there's like it's a fair bit of land. I think it's like 20 acres or something they have. It's a fair bit of land, but there's heaps of roos in there, and then there's probably 2 or 3 streets to where I am, and my next door neighbour's Bosnian, and he doesn't believe in like wasting space in his backyard, so it's all fruit trees.
Yeah.
Man, the rats that come out of that joint, like I'll just see them run across my fence, and I've got like a 60-year-old olive tree in my backyard, and it just drops. Like I get parrots and possums and stuff, and then you hear like huge bats come in at night, and you're like, sick. It's like a full fucking zoo out there, and I'm in the middle of suburbia. It's all the animals you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going to say, are you like the mechanic with a shit car? Or is your place pretty schmick?
My backyard's okay. Like, I think I've posted photos of it on Instagram. I never said it's my job. I just call it the Watsonia project.
Yep.
But it's all right. Like, I did it. We had my kid's first birthday, and I was like, I better make the backyard look all right. But the front yard's a pile of shit. Like, it's just dust. I've replaced my windows before my kid was born, but I haven't bricked them in yet. And he's nearly 2. And so I've got like chipboard window sills, and there's just like piles of bricks all around my house. And it's like the front yard's kind of like an orphanage for plants. It's like whatever didn't go into someone else's garden. If it gets into my garden and doesn't need water, then it survives. But if it needs water, then it just dies in my garden. So It's one of those things. I'll do it eventually, but we bought like a fixer-upper, so there's just heaps more shit to do inside before the front yard. Like it's so low priority for me.
We just got a quote for our driveway, so I'm a bit excited for that. We've got an old style house. Like we're doing a fair bit up here, and this is all new sort of space. It's not actually legal height, unfortunately. It's like literally fucking 10 mil off or something. So yeah, it's a bit annoying that this is just not a legal space, but it's perfect for what we do. Like there's a whole setup on the other side. But yeah, it's crazy that I'm making so many connections with landscapers in Melbourne. I really need to do the same up here in Brisbane because so we're on an 800 square meter or 820 square meter block, and my pool area is a fucking blank canvas. Like it is, honestly, like I know exactly what I want to do just to fix the actual area. So I want to put like a retaining wall and put modular walls up so we have some privacy because we do have neighbours everywhere. But But then when it comes to actually fucking doing it, I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. I don't have the tools. I don't have the knowledge. I want to make sure it's done right. And yeah, I really need to make some connections up here and get the right people in.
It's so different though. Like, obviously Australia's massive, but even Queensland itself is so big that like the north of Queensland to where you guys are, Brisbane, like Gold Coast and stuff, is so different. And then Sydney again, and that's like LMCA's grouse, but like you look at what people are saying about plants, you're like, that would never work in Melbourne, or they're like, plant this, and you're like, there's no way that'll survive. Like, there's just, and then you look at the guys in Western Australia, like what Luke talks about on his podcast and stuff, and it's just like, it's just completely different again, the sandy base. And then we get like pretty frosty like nights and mornings, but we don't get snow or anything like that. But then you get out like Mount Macedon and places like that, they're getting, -6, -8 overnight. And then it's just wet, like sort of country land. And then into Melbourne, it's like clay based. Like where I am, it's all shale. Like it's just rock shale, like shit. Like you just got to natives are the go, or you've got to you just got to excavate just so much, and drainage is the king of things. Like
that's my.
You really got to know what you're doing.
I fucking love natives, man. It's a bit like my wife isn't as big of a fan as I am on natives, but they're just hardy. Like when I do an install, it's normally for like a bulk. We'll do like a couple of 100 plants, and I get a better hit rate with them. Not as many die, and they don't need as much water, don't need as much TLC. Just put them in the right place, and away they fucking go. But I love sandstone. All that. Do you have a niche garden that you love to build and that you love to maintain?
Like personally?
Yeah.
Not really. I think that's why I like our sort of our client list, our portfolio of gardens, whatever you want to call it. It is so much variety, like from the native ones that have sort of earned my crust on, like sort of learned my skills on, to the super formal English style topiary gardens in Toorak and Brighton and things like that, and everything in between. Like now we're doing, like next week we got this job in the Docklands. It's all succulent garden beds and cactus and stuff like that. And it's got like a 3-story indoor vertical garden. Thankfully, we're not looking after that, but it's like, it's just cool to be a part of. Like we're doing all the balcony gardens, and it's all the same planting style. It's like this guy down here called Colin Hyatt. He has like his own line of succulents.
Yeah. Nice.
And then like we do, like everything. Like I really like natives, and I used to hate them because I grew up in a pretty, not bush area, but like very native because of the landscape. It's the shale soil. It's what grows. And then when I started my apprenticeship, I was like, oh my God, exotics are amazing. Like I've never seen anything like this before. And then you sort of come back and you find the middle ground of both. So there'll be weeks where I go, I just want to be on a set of shears. I'm cutting topiary. I'm doing hedges. And then there'll be other days where like, I just want to jump on that ride on. Like it's way more fun sitting on that. It's like I get a lot of variety, which is good.
That's good.
And then there'll be days, there might be like over the next few weeks, there might be 3, 4, 5 weeks where I don't pick up a hedge trimmer or a mower. Like we'll just be a pair of secateurs and a couple of buckets and some shears and just finessing gardens, feeding them, making sure pest and disease are under control. Like it'll just be tip pruning stuff and like planning for like grapevines, wisteria vines, a lot of winter pruning, stone fruit that we get heaps of down here, like cherries, nectarines, apricots, peaches,
do you get to
all that
up?
Stuff? Heaps, man. We got, that's the thing. Everyone's like, how good would it be having a lemon tree? Like, nah, anyone that has a lemon tree, just let them roll.
Exactly.
Like, they're the worst. Grapefruits, they're the worst.
I went to the markets and like, I'm not bougie at all, but like, if I'm going to buy fruit, I want fruit that tastes like fucking fruit. I don't want strawberries from Woolies because they all are like, they're hydroponically grown and they all taste exactly the same, like fucking nothing.
Water.
Yeah, you got to like dip them in chocolate just to get some fucking flavor. I paid $16 for a 500 gram punnet of strawberries today.
That's pretty good.
My dick. What the fuck? Like, 2 for $30. I'm like, I ain't fucking stretching the budget that much.
How big are they? Those big ones as well? So it was like four strawberries?
They are delicious strawberries. We get some here in Wellington Point that are fucking, like you'd fucking roll across broken glass to suck on one. But it's just one of those things that it's hard now.
We got a few jobs that have like proper like arbors and stuff like that, and like you get big grapevines, and then you got other ones that have like, I don't know, like 30 raspberry like plants and stuff like that, all the canes that you have to cut back, and so you're just smashing raspberries and blackberries, and then you've got the blueberry bushes, and it's just like, you grew some, but then it's like heaps of figs and loquats and stuff that just tastes like shit. But then I don't know if you guys get kumquats up there, but like everyone that ever works with me, if we get them, I'll make them eat one. And it's like the most tart thing you're ever going to eat, but it's like so good. Like it's sour, but good. I don't know what it is. Like, they grouse with vodka when I was an apprentice.
Are they the little yellow ones?
They're like orangey yellow. They look like a tiny mandarin.
Yeah, I know the ones. I'll send you.
And then you can get other ones that are like an oval shape, and you eat the skin and everything. They're really good. I had like a few clients, like old ladies, were like, introduce, just like a 21-year-old bogan kid. I was like, I'd never heard of like a persimmon. What the fuck's a persimmon? I'm just used to apples and bananas.
Well, you call them persimmons. I call them persimmons.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm off.
That must be like a potato scallop versus
that's a Queensland
potato cake thing.
Well, yeah, even them, I was like, I'd never seen it before, and they're like, go get yourself a nice cheese, Andy, and then like have this with some crackers and just have slices of the persimmon. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen this stuff before. Yeah. Take it home to my missus, and I'm like, gonna be bougie, and we're both eating like, that tastes a bit crap.
I fucking love when you bring home like a bag of the most amazing mandarins or something.
Yeah.
And like, I got older kids, so I'm just like, fucking and I'll just sit there and I've eaten a shopping bag full of like the fruit that you get from someone's tree tastes completely different to what comes from.
Absolutely, man. Yeah,
ladyfinger bananas. It's just the fucking best.
Yeah. When I was up at Mooloolaba, was that a year and a bit ago, there was a ladyfinger tree in the backyard, and it was about to flower, and we were only there for like 5 days, and I was like, I want to see this thing flower. I've never seen one flower and I was so stoked that you could just grow bananas in your backyard. Like that's down here you can grow avocados if you got a male and a female, but like you're not getting bananas. Like
there's even little dwarf ones. Someone at one of my villages actually, they got permission to use one of the community gardens. They put 2 little dwarf bananas in, and they flowered, and they're popping right now with like huge, like almost the same length as the height of the tree, like big hands of bananas. I was like, oh, I'm going to rob them.
Yeah, that's it. One thing though, the Queensland always goes on me, fucking mango's so overrated. Overrated. Yeah, not for me, man. I'll take a strawberry over a mango any day of the week.
Really? So I got that 40 acres up here in Brizzy, and they have 2 massive, not massive, I'll say like perfectly sized bowen mango trees. Yeah. And I pick them at the right time. I wash them so that sap doesn't fucking cook the skin. I treat these things like, and they are fucking to die for. I
like in yogurt, but that's about it.
Fresh mango in vanilla ice cream. None of that fucking low fat shit. Nothing like that. Fuck. Keep your fucking wee spa. No, I do agree. Like I enjoy a good strawberry, but mangoes, they're pretty up there. But passion fruits, fucking one thing, like birds eating passion fruits, and then you'll be cruising along a zero turn, see a passion fruit on a fence or something, I'm fucking just cruise straight over. I'll just be sucking passion fruits off this vine like a fucking animal.
We get heaps of passion fruits down here, and they're the best flower as well. It's like the best flower. It's so cool. It's like 3 levels to it. It's fucking cool.
Truly, they are a stunning flower. They look so good.
We get there's a fair few jobs we have now that we look after their fruit trees, and like then they've got bay leaf trees and kefir limes and stuff like that, and it's like all for cooking and things like that. Yep. But it's awesome that someone else is growing it. I don't want to do it at my joint because it's just so much work.
Like
I could rather be paid.
Stuff. You always pinch
heaps of rosemary, thyme, oregano. You weed it out, you smell like a pizza. That's
that's I love that. Now I'm thinking maybe I should get some more upscale clients that have their own fucking fruit happening.
Yeah, but up there you have to be like 40, 50 acres of just fucking smashing mangoes or smashing bananas
It's
or
true.
tropical fruit.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
like down here you get just someone trying to like some Italian guy or Greek woman that's just like, no, we don't waste space.
yeah,
We
fucking
just put it all into
zucchinis
one
and
spot. Yeah.
yeah, no, I
Zucchinis and
love those.
pumpkins, all
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
fucking love those gardens too. There's just something about them. Like, there's so much pride and care goes
Yeah.
into them, and you're like, you know that is going to be whatever comes from that garden is going to be top shelf.
It's sort of like what I was saying before about how I don't advertise that I do design and things. That's what, because we're working for these mega high end garden designers, landscape architects that have got like, they're doing those multi-million dollar buildings, whatever. I like to build gardens that you can live in, like that you want to be in with your family. Like it's a small garden that's achievable, that you're going to have fun in, that your kids are going to run around in, that you can put a trampoline in it if you want. Like I like the gallery gardens. They've got their place. They're fun to look after. But like to live in, you want one with a fruit tree or one with a herb garden or one that's like you can pelt soccer balls at the fence and you're not going to wreck the $4,000 topiary that you've got craned in or whatever,
Yeah.
It's like they are the gardens I really enjoy working in or building more than working in. But it's like probably because they're a bit easier to do. I don't know.
Oh man, it is what it is. You like what you like, and that's fucking fair enough. Now, here's a little thing that I've been thinking of over the last couple of weeks, and I want to put it on air so no other fucker that does podcasting does the same thing. Now, if I get some sponsors, is it something that I could do? Maybe I could come down and do a day with you and jump on with a couple of other people. You reckon that's a viable thing?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, for sure.
I'll go and work for free.
I'd happily have you.
A pie or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not unskilled.
I'll get you a couple pies.
Yeah, fucking sweet. I'm not unskilled, so I won't. I'll try not to be a burden, and I'll try not to get in the way. But I'd just love to come down and maybe strap a GoPro on and just highlight some of the things that people do around the country. Like I'd love to go to WA and hang out with like Humongous, Trenny from GI Mo's, or hang out with Luke Smith while he does some of his stuff. And I think go up to Cairns, maybe find where fucking Dr. Big Pickle lives. I can jump on with him for a bit, go to the territory. Like, I think there's something there. I think we could.
For sure, yeah. Even doing like a day in the life of, and then whack them on YouTube or whatever.
Fucking YouTube. Like, one of the things that me and some of the boys have spoken about, like, I've always been one to think of just obscure stuff. And I said to him, I was like, all the drama that happens at all these villages. Could you imagine if there was a sitcom based on our lives, watching their lives? It was like a completely different way of thinking about things. And again, don't fucking steal it, anyone. I'll put it on air now. It's going to be out there for everyone. Yeah, patent pending. No, I think like some of the stories and shit, and you could have. Do you remember that Hamish and Andy show? And they used to get the stories, like true yarns or whatever. And,
yeah.
You know how there's that podcast, Proper True Yarns with Knuckles from CTC, like those sort of things. I fucking love. Like they really hit the spot when it comes to listening for me.
It's because it's super relatable. Because it's like, oh fuck, I've got a story like that, or I could do that, or we remember that person we worked for that was like that. Like that's why, because that's why I like your podcast, because it's a bit more laid back, like relatable. You can just hear like realistic stories from people, opposed to just like, I don't want to, the fully glossed over effect of Instagram or whatever. It's like, when you're catfishing someone, it's like, no, if you're in there working with someone, filming, hearing their shit jokes during the day, seeing what they have for smoko, fucking even the price of a coffee or whatever, all the different areas that everyone's working in, just like little things that you could just be like, that's what these boys are paying for lunch every day.
Exactly.
Think about that when you're sipping on your $4 latte opposed to your $9 latte.
100%.
It's like, it's super relatable.
I'd
happily have you down. One thing I would say, wait till it warms up in Melbourne. So there's actually something to do though.
Oh yeah, fair enough. No, true that. I'm sure you do get into a bit of mulching and shit like that during
Oh,
winter?
we got heaps of jobs. We got a job we put 120 cubes in a few months ago, and they'd only done half of it. Like
Wow.
we're doing some
awesome.
big jobs, and like
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of the places like the nice ones. I hate talking like that, the nice ones, but like the designer gardens,
Yeah.
you mulch them 2 or 3 times a year, like because they're using this
Really?
sort of because they like using like Fulton's is a big brand down here. They a landscaper supply. They have it's called Shore Crop, and it's like a mulch compost blend. And it looks grouse. It's dark in colour. It's super nutritional for the
Oh,
garden.
yeah, we were talking
But
about it earlier.
it breaks down so quick. Like
Yeah.
you got to be mulching 2, 3. It's grouse for maintenance. Like
Oh, it's
for
fucking
us,
good
it's
for
a
labour
nice little
costs too.
upsell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
upsell.
it's a nice little upsell, but it's like you got to convince the client that instead of putting in the bush mulch or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But there's heaps. We never really get quiet. Like the tasks just change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it goes from mowing and pruning to mulching and fertilizing to mulching and winter prune, or we'll do pressure washing, or we'll do like, you know, some planting and installs. We'll change that garden better. We'll move this and we'll transplant that. It's like bare root season, so you might dig something up and move it out. Like there's always just something to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. I used to think that it slowed down, but honestly, winter seems to be the busier period these days.
When you have staff, you can't let it slow down. You can't.
That's the problem. It's good. It's good and bad, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you time everyone's holidays to suit your business needs, but realistically, like it is when it's staff that rely on you, it's game on. Like you can't slow the pace. That's why, like, I'm really thankful the work that I've got does slow down right now, and I can come off the tools. And this is when the expo picks up, and I really focus on the expo and focus on building the brand. And obviously, like I've been able to have time to do the podcast, and I'm fucking honestly, like anyone who's listening, hopefully gets the same vibe. I just kicked the fuck out of my ankle, but just see the camera wobble.
I did hear that.
Yeah, fucking hurt, man. But like I'm absolutely loving doing the podcast, and I'm hoping to you know, do things like that, like do some travel and hopefully I can get a brand on board that thinks that is something that they'd like to have, you know, me travel around and work with certain people. It's just hard because if I was to get a brand to do that, then they would want me to be working with people who only has that brand of tool on board. Like if you still wanted me to fucking come and see you and do work with you. It is like, it's a hard thing to sell to one brand, but it is what it is, man. I don't mind wearing fucking any shirt doing something extracurricular. Like I'd love if Skag and Bushranger would, you know, Skag on the front, Bushranger on the back or whatever. I haven't floated it past them, but yeah, it's just something that I thought might be cool. And then people actually, not only will they get to, and here's the caveat, not only do you have to pay for me to fucking get there, but you also have to pay for the person to fucking do the editing on the filming. Whether it be a Filipino lad that costs you fucking $25, or if you want to get someone in Australia to do it for fucking $10,000, I don't care, because editing is hard as fuck. Honestly, I don't even know with the podcast, because I was talking to Luke and he gets his edited overseas. I'm like, what do you edit? Like, I mean, when you have someone like me on, maybe you have to edit a fair bit. But I don't know if it's like tuning in, like his sound quality is probably better than mine. We're using the same equipment. I don't know.
He tries to keep his to about an hour or something, though, doesn't he? Most of them.
Fucking hell. I just looked at the time. We've been chewing for fucking... Fuck, sorry.
What's going on? Nah, you're right.
Oh, man.
It doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't. And
it's going to be a punish for a listen for anyone else.
Oh, dude, I think like me as a consumer of content, I would love a long form sort of thing. That's why, you know, some of the skull sessions we would do for like, we'd try and keep it to an hour and a half, but I just feel bad that I fucking kept you away from your family for this long. I mean, mine's upstairs. I can hear them running around. But
nah, it's all right. I just got a text before saying, "Are you still going?" I was like, "Yeah, it's still going. It's fine."
Yeah, sorry. maybe
nah, it's all right.
You know,
I was with them all morning.
Maybe a different fucking format of video. I could run around the country to everyone's wife that I've husband
Apologising.
that is fucking with a bunch of flowers, just like, I'm so sorry. We got to chatting and that's how.
Nah, she doesn't care. She's a good egg.
Oh, that's
She'll be
good.
fine. I'll be home for bath time. That's fine.
Well, maybe you can bring her along to the networking night as well, because like that's like most people who work in this industry, like even if your wife doesn't work in the business doing paperwork and shit like that, you are a team at the end of the day. Like, or your husband.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you are a team. You have to be a team to be a business owner. You can't have one person who's all in and one person who's just fucking looking from the outside. I think that's where like some like disconnect happens in a relationship. Unless like,
for sure,
I could
man.
be completely wrong. Like Lou doesn't give
My
two
missus
fucks
is
about
pretty
what I'm doing,
good.
but-
Like we're lucky enough we've travelled a fair bit of the world. Like when I finished my apprenticeship, I didn't, as I said before, I didn't go just for it, but I got to go to the Chelsea Flower and Garden Show in England.
Yeah.
And then we've been to Gardens by the Bay in Singapore.
Oh.
We've been to Japan to heaps of like sacred gardens there.
How good is Gardens
South
by the
Korea,
Bay?
like it's unreal, man. Like just next level. Like just how old the trees are and stuff that they've craned in from somewhere around the world, and then just the technology of how they can make it work in such an environment with so many people, and the climate control and stuff. And it's just amazing. Like blew my mind.
I'm a fucking super geek for dinosaurs, and they literally have a Jurassic Park exhibit going on right now. They literally have life-size, like massive T-Rex, Brachiosaurus and shit, Velociraptors. And as you walk around, like you go into different, and it's big enough where you would probably feel quite immersed. Like when I was in the US, I went to Universal Studios in LA, and the Jurassic Park ride, like I was like, fuck yeah. Like I was just a big fat giggly kid, just like, there's a fucking dinosaur. But I'm guessing that's what it's like. That place blew my mind and actually changed a lot of my opinions on like how gardens should look, and the sculptures, like the sculptures that they've done with timber and stuff in there are just next level.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. Like Melbourne gets like Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show, and then there's like a pretty high level of garden designers and stuff like that. So but then when you go overseas and you see, like I've got an English guy working for me now, Charlie, who's grouse, and he's from the Cotswolds. And have you ever watched Clarkson's Farm, Jeremy Clarkson?
Oh, I've watched a couple, yeah.
Yeah, so that he's in the Cotswolds, and like just talking to Charlie that works for me, he's pruned 300-year-old wisterias and stuff like that. I'm like, man, it's just a whole different world that they're dealing with. Like, it's so nice when you get to travel and see how different people are taking in, like, design concepts of vertical gardens, or that it's too condensed in the city, so everyone's got to have a garden on the roof, or it's a little farm or out in the middle of nowhere in Japan, so they grow all their own food because it's too hard to get it. Like, there's so much. Man, the industry is so vast that we all know, like whether it's ag or hort or lawn care or floristry, or just there's so much within, I guess, biology. I guess you'd say it's just the biology of it, which is awesome that humans can then take it on and make it their own and make it, because that's what my background was in, art and then with hort, and they combine so well together that I think that's like, I often just sort of stare at gardens, and now I'm getting into architecture of buildings within that work with the garden. So like, we've got a job that's got it's pretty plain, the house, but it's got these two big curved walls. And I was like, that's weird. Like, why have they got that? And then at a certain point of the day, the sun hits it and it casts these huge arc shadows.
Oh, wow.
And it makes like, they've got all these birch trees and they sort of like spin around the house like that with the sun.
Wow.
And it's just like, it's just super intelligent design. I just really appreciate that now. Like I used to really appreciate like a flower, and now it's like, how can that flower evolve and be a part of a bigger picture? Like it's, I don't know, probably just old and boring now. It's like making it fucking no personality. I'm like, I used to go out and have fun, and now it's like, fuck, how grouse is that tree?
No, that's good. Like you need to have a bit of passion when it comes to things like that. Like I don't know, I find myself just always wondering, like will I develop a passion for, how like you got all the guys that are so involved with chems, and they're like, I know like every chemical, and then you've got some that are so like detailed when it comes to fertilizing and lawn, like the lawns, and then guys expertise of the gardens, and then it's I always I'm wondering, like, is my niche just to fucking sit on a skag and just absolutely just chuck grass around, like making long grass look as good as it can. Like I love
it's
that.
It's not a bad thing though. Like you got to do that, and you do it well, obviously. But like, I reckon you're underselling yourself massively there. So it's like you're clearly bringing so much more to the industry now between the expo, the podcast, the quality of work you're doing, the skag stuff. Like it's not a niche. Like I call myself a generalist because I don't focus on hedges. I don't focus on flowers. I just sort of have a well-rounded package, I guess you'd call it, that I can sell to a client. But like you're bringing just fucking total different aspects of the whole industry within one and giving a voice to people that never had a voice. So it's like, I don't undersell yourself of making long grass short. It's like you're doing way more than that. You might not need a niche, but you're doing you're doing something else that no one else is doing. You know what I mean? I'll suck you off later.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I might just fucking quickly run upstairs and use this boner.
Get the bull ants out.
Yeah, fuck yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Look, I've kept you long enough. I really enjoy everything you do. It's fucking always good to chat, and I'm going to get you back on soon because, mate, I reckon we probably still had another 2 hours in us. I just don't.
Easy.
Yeah.
I just need another 2 stubbies and another piss break.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, fucking definitely next time. If we're drinking, like, I'll definitely punch out some beers and that might be something else I could start.
I told you before the pod, but it was the flat packaging, the furniture I had to put together before the pod was the cause of the beers. Well, I wouldn't have had them if it wasn't for that flat pack. But
the fact that we've been going so long means that fucking shit over there
is still not done.
It's not getting done tonight. That could be a positive or a negative. Positive that I don't have to do that. Negative, I'm going to get the cold shoulder. But it is what it is. You get what you get. You don't get upset.
That's it.
Oh, well, thank you again, Andy, man. Thank you so much. Make sure you go and follow Leaf by Leaf on Instagram. Don't forget all of our socials as well. Into the Green Podcast, Lawn and Land Equip Expo. Chuck your www.llee.com.au. If you're coming along to the networking night, there's still some tickets available. The cool cats of the industry are definitely going to be there. And it seems like it's growing. The network is growing, and it seems like we're really going to have some industry leaders there. So can't wait, and fucking good night.